Racing
So what
camping
happened?
Well, just kind of got on the sauce.
Yeah, well, something must have happened to start drinking, you know?
Yeah, Mrs. Auntie said, "You want a beer?"
As simple as that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you could never say no, could you?
And then before I knew it, all the fucking bud had run out and I was on the San Miguel.
Ah, like you do.
Yeah.
And thank you for that, Hayley. She said I wouldn't have said no. Is pretty true, to be fair. We never say no.
And then
Who
before
else
I
are
knew
we
it, it was
missing
20 to
here?
7, I was like, I need to get back, I'll play some.
It's in your
No
Discord,
John,
Matt.
but... Yeah, no, I know. I'm just trying to type their names in to tag them in it now. Robert Dion. Monkey Boy, I know, might be running late.
Right, boys, good luck. I'm going to join my own party.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, as I said, Dan, if you send me an invite Gary smashes into the side of me and takes my wheels off, I'll come join you.
Alright. Alright.
Okay, whichever one smashes my wheels off, I'll come.
Right, speak to you on a bit. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Okay, let's change. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. We are live here for round 2 of our F1 season, and what a season it's been so far already. We've only had one round, which was at Melbourne on Australia, and we had less than half the grid finish the race. But we are here at Sakhir, the Bahrain International Circuit. My name's Dan Davis, also known as Unorthodox, and welcome here to Simplay Motorsport. So a couple of new guys here this evening to stand in for a couple of guys who is not able to race this evening. Sadly, we don't have green pies this evening, so instead we've got a couple of replacements, couple of stand-ins for this, and one of them is this man, Sutty Apex, and we know what this guy can do in a normal McLaren GT3 car, or what can he do in the Haas F1 car. He's got a little bit of a rivalry between him and As Ideal Welshie. Thank you for letting me know. Matt has actually managed to figure this one out this time. So yeah, Sutty in the F1 car, what can he do this season, or what can he do this race? I don't know how much of the season he's in, but he will be standing for green pies for this one. Emo guy didn't make round 1, but he is here for round 2, as he's currently in the pits waiting to get out on circuit. We don't have that Buzzy Boy this evening, so instead we have Nicky instead in the car for Team Prolapse, doing it for Red Bull Racing. We'll see how he gets on this evening. He normally likes an open wheeler, so we will see how he gets on. BM Motorsport back again, once again in the Ferrari, but all eyes are set on this man, Mate Himovic. Can he continue his winning streak? He got a couple of wins in Pro-Am, and he got a win in Australia. Can he win here in Bahrain, or can Mazda in the Williams get any bit closer? The first night race of the season. As you can see, the cars look absolutely beautiful under the lights here at the Sakhir Grand Prix, and a famous circuit for obviously Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg going toe-to-toe in 2014. One of the greatest battles we have ever seen in F1. Awesome race that was. Also, we had the sad damage of Romain Grosjean here not long ago, last season. His last season in F1, he took a massive explosion here at the Sakhir Grand Prix, and or the Bahrain Grand Prix. I keep calling it the Sakhir Grand Prix, but you know, different race. But what can these guys do here this evening? Remember guys, they do not have custom setups. It's all default, so they have to work with what they've got. As we see Leon Fernie coming through the middle sector. Let's see if we can catch a guy exiting the final corner so that we can take a lap here of the Sakhir Grand Prix. Actually, while I remember, let's do this table standing. So it is Mate Himovic who leads the way with 25 points, with Mazda in second on 19. He took the extra point for fastest lap. He is close behind his rival. Third place was KLF with a solid podium in that third place position. Fourth place goes up the Mutts Nuts with DJ Phil in fifth. Guten Duffin, or Lucas, or Floyd as everyone knows him, currently in sixth place position. Lucas Roth in 7th with Fury in 8th. 9th is PM Motorsport and Green Pies in 10th. Those are your point scorers at the minute. Then it goes That Buzzy Boy, RDJ, Leon Fernie, John Boy, Grandad D, Gary131, Monkey Boy, Emo Guy, D-Biggs and Bryn rounding off that. Regarding the championship title, the teams tables, it's Williams who leads the way with 31 points, of Aston Martin in that second place position on 25 points, McLaren in third place with 19, and Red Bull in fourth with 10. Mercedes in that fifth place position with 8. Haas in that sixth place position on 7 points. Ferrari in 7th on 2 points. Dennis Alpine, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo all yet to score points here. Can they do so here at the Bahrain Grand Prix? And already Sutty setting the pace, and I guarantee you any money he's probably on that pad. So guys, as I say that, Mate Himovic goes fastest of them all, and he goes with 27.8. So Matt already on the pace. Let's try and find someone who is on a lap. A couple of guys trying to get out the way of the middle sector. Oh, as we see a Mercedes in the wall. Bryn getting really close to the wall, so Bryn wants to be a bit more careful of that. Let's ride on board with Emo Guy, who's coming into the final corner. So as he comes through the final corner, he will try and get the best run out of here as best he can. So go down the back straight, make sure you had a good run out of the final corner, and then head up into turn 1. Turn 1 is going to be very, very interesting as they all kind of bottleneck down into this section, and Emo Guy gets a decent turn in and a good exit. He'll then try and get as much boost down the back straight and towards the next corner, which is turn 4, and again this is where Sebastian Vettel drop it here into the turn. Make sure you hit the apex. You can run as wide as you like, but Emo Guy being a bit careful there. So we now go 5 and 6 and then down into 7. Careful with these curbs, it can spin the car around 8, especially that curb there will spin you completely around and down into a slow braking zone into the hairpin. Make sure you get good exit and good drive as you then come into the tight section, making sure you just clip that apex there. Don't have to hit it all the way in, but make sure you get the car stopped in a nice straight line for that slow hairpin. Next in the RS zone, down the back straight we go, and try and make sure you spot your braking as you come into this quick left-hander. You think you could take more speed than you actually can, but he runs a little bit wide. Emo Guy really putting the power down, and then into this tricky right-hander. Don't touch that curb because it will spin you right around. Many people are falling for that. Into the penultimate corner again, making sure you get good drive, good traction, and then head your way back down the back straight. As we see there, the Mutts Nuts has retired from the session. Emo Guy coming down the final few corners now into the final corner. Make sure you hit the apex. Make sure you get a good run out the final corner. And towards the line he comes, hits the DRS zone. A 28.9 was his best. Has he improved? No, he will stay in a 28.9 and in 7th place position. But at the minute, Leon Fernie is the man setting the pace in the Ferrari and is looking good. He's found the 10th over Mate Himovic, who is currently in the pits right now. A couple of people in the comments. Johnny Moore, Leon better win or it will be a disappointment. Fury's granddad, evening. Good luck everyone. Go Fury and KLF. Fury's mum, evening all. Come on Fury, make it a good one. PM Motorsport now to save the tyres, front wing. Lol, and Fury's granddad in the comments with a thumbs up emoji. Guys, get behind your drivers, get behind the supporters as well here. Let's get as many people into the stream as we possibly can. Let's make this a good one. A lot of drivers into the pits. Currently D-Biggs 4th place at the minute. He's into an in-lap by the looks of things. Sutty currently on an out-lap. What can this man do? Did a good job in the GT3s earlier on. Green Pie's in the comments saying, hi Dan, I'm extremely drunk. I just came in to say hi and I love you guys. Heart emojis. Well, Green Pies, happy birthday mate. Enjoy it. Don't get too hammered. We need you back on circuit soon mate. But Green Pie is currently absent. He's going to be losing points to his rivals. But I'm sure this is going to be a hectic round here. Who's this behind? Sutty, that is Emo Guy. He's gone for another hot lap by the looks of things, and he's using the slipstream of the back of that Haas. Can Emo Guy improve on 7th place position? Already the times are relatively close as Sutty is trying to break the toe, but Emo Guy does pit. They all pit there. That's surprising. I thought Sutty would have stayed out, but nonetheless. Currently no one out on track. D-Biggs, but he's returning to the pits here, and no one out on track, so that's fun. Good start here. Be interesting to see what tyres people have chosen. We see a McLaren there exiting the pits. I believe that is KLF. We will see as he comes through the exit now. Johnny Murray saying, Leon, my best pal, I'll be at yours if you don't win, I swear. Welshie, come on Keegs and Floyd, and Smithy in the comments saying, evening Fury's mum. PM Motorsport, don't think I have much more pace anyway, just gonna try and survive. And it was Fury, he was out on an out lap. This is interesting. Mate Himovic done his lap time on the medium tyre, or he selected the medium tyre. He's now coming out the pits. His teammate Gary also coming out on the medium tyre, while Mazda's still yet to set a time. What is Mazda thinking? Is he wanting to stay at the back? But he did tell me the other day that his strategy was to wait until the very end and then come out on track. And Prava in the comments as well did a fantastic job in Pro-Am the other night and really shocked the majority of us here. He's in the comments saying, it's my birthday too, but I'm not drunk. Happy birthday, mate, and I hope you're having a good one there in Latvia, and hope you're here to support some of the drivers. Guys, let's hear for your support. Who are you here supporting which drivers? Let's get a vote in on who has the most support. Fury's mum saying, evening, Smithy Smith. So we have 8 minutes left of this session, and it's still Leon Fernie who sets the pace. Mate Himovic back out on track, but he is on the medium tyre. Is he looking to go long in the first start of this stint? And Fury on the softs as well. In my opinion, I really wouldn't know what was the best strategy in my opinion. But it's all going to be about turn 1. It's all going to be about turn 1. If everyone can make sure they get that down, Oh, as Fury goes really deep. That's not how you do turn one. And I know Fury was stressing out a little bit just before he got here. He had his mum turn on the PlayStation, turn everything on, get everything set up and ready to go. And he's just dialing in his car right now. Fury has some really good pace in this McLaren and looks he could take the fight to some of the drivers. But if you guys were here last week at Australia, then you would have seen that it was all about survival. Just under half of the grid only finished at Australia as Nicky gets out of the way of his fellow Prolapse driver of Fury as they come over the crest here. Fury trying to find a little bit more pace, but we want to keep an eye on Matt and Gary, both going on the medium tyre. What can they do with this strategy? Let's see if Gary can actually stay on track this race and not get involved. We have got a yellow flag in sector 1. I'm not sure who that is, as we've got Haas in the pits, but we are underway again. So must have been a slow car, possibly Emo guy, just getting out of the way of a few people. But they want to be careful how much tyres they use around here. So try and find a little bit more information of the Bahrain circuit. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, then please do. Every like and subscribe really helps us out as Fury bails on that lap and comes back to the pits. We got Keys currently on track as well. What can he do? He did a fantastic job in the first round, but just made one little error and that was it. He was out. So he ran really long on the hard tires and just caught him out towards the end. I think he had a little bit of traffic as well. So Keegs is one to keep an eye on, or Lucas Ruff is his current account. So this Bahrain circuit is currently, if I can read this properly, my mind has gone blank. The track was opened in the 17th of March 2004. And it has 5 different layouts. Obviously we're using the long layout, and the current lap record is actually held by a Formula 1 car, which is, the record is held actually by Pedro Della Rosa. That's interesting, I didn't know that. Pedro Della Rosa currently holds the record in the McLaren MP420 in 2005. I think that might be wrong, but I'm just going by what this website says. The track has 15 corners, and it's split obviously in 3 sectors. As Lucas Ruff here has gone up into a 3rd place position while I was reading all that information. A few more comments coming in. John Marie, I see my pal will get on the podium, going to say second him, faith in him. Leon, Mark Afford in the comments saying come on Nicky, and Nicky Davis in the comments saying come on son, and that's definitely not towards me. But nonetheless, we are currently coming down to the last 5 minutes of the session. These guys want to get out on track, but Leon Fernie still setting the pace. What a lap time he has produced, a 27.7. Ferrari back on top. Can he replicate what? Oh, as we see here, we've lost Floyd in sector 2, so he's probably touched the curb. As we see a McLaren facing the wrong way as well. Who is that? It is Fury. Fury facing the wrong way. He's got a little bit of gravel there, so that's not good. PMO spot in the comments, there's a longer layout than they used in 2010. Yes, it was, but if I remember rightly, everyone hated it because the middle sector was terrible. That was where Floyd's car had gone off. He had dropped it in that slow sector. And I'm just getting a mouthful of whiskey there, needed at this precise minute. But Fury not on his best lap at the minute. A couple guys back into the pits. They're running out of time to get out and get their last laps in, but they don't want to overuse the tyres. They want to make sure they have a nice fresh set for the race. Obviously whatever they qualify is what they will start on. I believe it works for the top 10. But Leon Fernie on his out lap now. He's starting a lap. Can he extend the gap? He's currently on medium tyres. Let's do a lap with Leon Fernie as he comes up to turn 1. He might get the benefit of a toe off the back of the Williams of Mazda. And we finally see Mazda out on circuit. What can Mazda do this evening? He looked very strong at Australia. He looked like he could take the fight to Matt, but Matt just had the edge over him. But we will see Leon Fernie coming into the middle sector now, and just looking to try and get a decent lap under his belt. He has to be careful how much life he takes out of the tyres. Takes a lot of curb. That is brave. As we now go into the slow hairpin. Leon Fernie still fastest of this session. Little snap there. give Leon Fernie a wee shout out, please? Well, there you go, Johnny. Leon Fernie, there's your shout out, mate. Johnny is watching you in the comments, making sure that you're going to do the best job you possibly can. And he looks like he's bailing on this lap. He's not doing... He wasn't looking quick through that sector there. Zukas Roth we now run on board with. He's now tried the medium tyre. The problem is they've got to try and get these medium tyres up to temperature and on the move. But at this precise minute, no one's really setting blistering lap times on the mediums. So there we go. There's their best laps on their tyres. And Emo Guy, 4 laps worth on those set tyres. He's going to struggle in the early end of this session. So we'll keep an eye on how he progresses on, but might be worth going on a fresh set of softs maybe, or mediums to try and improve. But nonetheless, we'll see how we get on. Fury coming to turn 1 now. Can he improve on his lap time? It's so important to get turn 1 done right. Leon is my Ferrari teammate. Yes, PM Motorsport, and so far your teammate is doing the job. He is currently fastest of them all right now. Evil Scotsman's not the biggest fan of this track, says Emo Guy. No, it's not. I tell you what, Emo Guy, I kind of have to agree with you. This is not, in my opinion, not my particular favourite either. Fury really pushing the limit here. He's really turned those tyres on. Can he get a good lap time here? We shall see. Fury really pushing this McLaren with his teammate, a KLF 900, who's currently on an outlap as well. Oh, Fury getting really wide there. That would be a delete of that lap time. He's going with it though. He's sticking with it. Will this lap be allowed or not? That is the question. Currently 19 people watching the stream. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and hit that bell on the right hand side of the subscribe button if you want to be notified for every time we are live here at Simplay Motorsport. Make sure you tune in this week coming up, as we will head to round 2 of the GT3 Pro and Pro-Am categories. As you see there, Leon, who just improved. Mazda has set a lap time. He has gone P4 on a set of softs, so not quite where he wants to be. Fury, we're watching his lap. He pits, so in he goes. Like I said, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as we will go to Watkins Glen, the next round of the Pro GT3 Pro-Am and Pro season. Already the season is hotting up. Matt Timovic and Ben Parkey taking first wins of their season already, and in the Pro it had gone BMW domination at Red Bull, with Andy and Disco both taking a race win themselves, as we will head to Watkins Glen for round 2. And also, for the first time this season, we will be going to our first World Endurance race next Saturday. 6 hours of Silverstone, LMP2 and GTE. Make sure you tune in throughout the day to see that. I know most people have been watching the World Endurance virtual race. We will be hosting our very own soon, as Bryn is on his final lap. Who is coming through the final few corners? Emo Guy has finished his session. D Biggs currently on the lap. Mazda also currently on the lap. Matt is on the lap as well. We will stick with Mazda as he's coming down the back straight here. Who is the car in front? It is a Alpine. Said here that Emo Guy was finished. He's towards the line. He doesn't improve and stays where he is. Mazda, what can he do? He crosses the line. He doesn't improve, but Matahimovic has gone fastest of all by 1/10 of a second. He has out-qualified Leon Fernie. We are just waiting on D-Biggs and Bryn, but it sounds like my my GT teammate is just off the power. He looks like he is done for this session. We are just waiting on Bryn now. He is coming through the final few sectors here. Slowest of them all at the minute. Been sticking with the medium tyre. What can he do on the softs? Mercedes, can they get themselves back on the front row? Can Bryn do anything about his teammate out the session? Mutsnuts out the session as well. Towards the final corner, towards the line. Bryn, what can he do? He will stay P16. That is it for the session. D Biggs is into the pit, so it is Matahimovic taking pole position here at the Bahrain Sakhir Grand Prix, with Leon Fernie in second, Fury in third. Mazda will take 4th place position. 5th will go Lucas Roth. 6th is D Biggs. 7th is Sutty. 8th will be Gary. 9th is Emo Guy. The Mutsnuts will start in 10th. PM Motorsport 11th. Guten Duffin in 12th. Nicky will start in 13th. just as this camera changes, as you look at Gary's Aston Martin here. Not the correct car that's on pole position, but nonetheless it is Mate Imovic in the Aston Martin taking a pole position here at Bahrain. We got to Nicky in 13th, DJ Phil will start in 14th, KLF 900s will start in 15th place position, and Bryn will round off the back of the grid on the medium tyre. I believe he is the only medium tyre, but the top 10 all have to start on the tyre they qualified, while everyone else has a free range choice. Guys, that has been a close qualifying session between Mate Imovic and Leon Fernie. Fury not too far behind, and Mazda in the mixed as well. Like I said, guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make sure you tune in for this week's Pro and Pro-Am Championship at Watkins Glen, and also we will be going and doing our first World Endurance at Silverstone, round 1 of the season. Evil Scotsman says, good luck all. Also, keep up the good work, Dan. Thank you for the kind words, Emo Guy. We're about to get underway here for the round 2 of the Bahrain Sakhir Grand Prix Season 1 here at Simplay Motorsport. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get your votes in on who you think is going to take the win here this evening at Bahrain. A reminder of the tables: Mate Imovic leads the way with 25 points, ahead of Mazda on 19, KLF 900 in 5th with 15 points, Mutsnuts in 4th, and 5th is DJ Phil. But we're about to get away for the formation lap. Mark Alford in the comments saying good luck all, as we are now underway here for the warm-up lap, and Gary's just disappeared. If you do see guys disqualified from the warm-up lap, don't worry, it's just how it works. Gary's obviously thinking that it's the start of the race, so I think that's the only time Gary will lead the race. Is that a hint, Dan? Lol. No. And Prava, why aren't there standings for GT classes in the Discord yet? They will be dropped off very soon, and Prava. We're just going through the final few inquiries and stewards inquiries. So yeah, we're just getting through all that at the minute, and once they are all done, they will be posted very shortly. So guys, get behind the drivers who you think is going to take the first win of the season. Mate Imovic starts on pole position with Leon Fernie in 2nd, 3rd of Fury. 4th will be a Mazda, 5th will be a Lucas Roth. D-Biggs will start in 6th place position, Sutty in 7th, 8th is Gary 131 who's gone. Emo Guy will start 9th, the Mutsnuts will start 10th, 11th is the PN Motorsport, 12th is Guten Duffin, 13th is Nicky for Team Prolapse, 14th is DJ Phil, KLF 900, and then Britain rounding off the back of the grid. As Peaceful Stepdad in the comments saying, good evening everyone and good luck. Matt's just backing up the pack right now. I say that, I mean Gary's backing up the pack. He's getting a few people getting them disqualified here as Fury's dropped it. Not sure what's going on here, but either Matt or Gary has really messed this up a little bit. Not quite sure who, but doesn't really matter. These guys won't get disqualified from the race as Gary's really slow. I think that's the only time we will see the Aston Martin pairing together. As we're about to get line up here for a round 2 of the F1 Simplay Motorsport season. Mate Imovic on pole position with Leon Fernie riding alongside him at turn 1. This is going to be an interesting race. How many cars will stay on track this season? How many cars will finish this race? Last time we had less than half. Lights are on. Res rise. Here we go. It's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're underway here. Mazda gets a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. And what chaos is going on in the middle of the pack already? KLF 900 on the grass. But it's Mazda with the jump start who leads into turn 1. Leon Fernie looking down the inside. But there's Gary. Cutting the corner and he launched into turn 1. Absolute chaos into turn 1. Everyone seems to go out of it unscathed. DB is currently in 6th place position, but he's got Lucas Roth and the Mutsnuts coming out. Look at all the cars all over the shot. As you see there, one of the Alpines of D-Biggs has made contact with Lucas Roth. Can he keep it on track? He's going backwards. No, he keeps it on track, but there's cars everywhere as we now come through the middle sector. But it's Mazda who leads with a drive-through penalty that he needs to serve within 3 laps. Oh, as a Mercedes is all over the shop. Bryn struggling for traction. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. This is Red Bull spinning round. That's a Mercedes facing the wrong round. Who's that? That's Guten Duppen, I think. No, it's Bryn. He's facing the wrong way. Emo guy, damage to the front wing. Gary with the penalty as well, so all sorts of chaos. People really going a bit mad with track limits, but we go back to the front and it is Mazda who leads the way, but Fury is breathing down Matahimovic's neck, trying to do anything he possibly can to get past him. Lucas Roth there in 5th place position. Keep an eye on Keeks. He normally takes the long strategies and it normally tends to work out in his favour, but Mazda leads the way, but with a drive through. Matt in 2nd as we got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Why is that? Have we got a car round? We do not, but it's Mazda who still leads. Will he bail into the pits and serve his drive-through penalty? He does. So it's Matahimovic who will retake the lead of the race. Fury right behind him, looking to try and find any way past him as he possibly can. Lucas Roth has got past Leon Fernie in the final corner. So Fury, that's the man we want to keep an eye on as Leon Fernie goes down the inside of Lucas Roth and is unable to get the job done. Now Gary will get the run. Can he get past him as quickly as he possibly can and try and help his teammate as he come up into turn 4? But Matt leads the way still as Leon Fernie is right onto the back of Lucas Roth. Has got quite a few cars in the pits repairing their front wings. D-Big suffering with damage as well. He's just currently in that 6th place position. KLF moved up to 7th. Good start for him with his old teammate Nicky in 8th place position, and he cuts the corner there, really struggling for grip there by the looks of things. As I think Nicky has dropped it. No, he's still going. But we return to the front and the gaps are starting to open up a little bit. It's Matahimovic who leads the way with a gap of 9 tenths to Fury. Lucas Roth in 3rd place with Leon Fernie and Gary in 5th place position. D-Biggs currently in 6th place with KLF 900 in that 7th place position. Guten Duppen in 8th place with PN Motorsport currently in 9th, having a fight with a Mercedes of Guten. Trying to find any other way around him as he possibly can. Nicky in 10th. 11th is Mazda after he served his drive-through penalty. Sutty, the Mutts Nuts, the Emo guy, all these guys with damage. And there is your predicted pit stops. 2 stops will be on a soft, medium. And a 3 stop would be soft, medium as Matt is setting the pace and pulling away. As you see, yeah, PM Motorsport has got past Guten Duffen as Floyd loses a place out there. As Leon Fernie also losing the place to Gary 131. Gary getting the job done in turn 1, but Leon Fernie should get the DRS. DRS not enabled yet by the looks of things. Let's go up into turn 4 and Leon Fernie holds his ground, trying to keep that position as best he can. Gary on the outside. Leon gives him space as they come through this tricky S's here. Leon Fernie right to the edge of Gary, but Gary gets the job done. Brilliant stuff there from the 2-time champ. But Leon Fernie's back down the inside into the hairpin. Can't quite get the job done, and Gary gets better traction and better run out the corner. So brilliant stuff from Gary. He hangs in there, but he has got a penalty hanging over his head. But all of the gaps are starting to spread out a little bit. Mazda is onto the back of Guten Duffen. What can he do as Floyd has lost the front wing and he might need to pit? But Mazda now up into 9th place. He needs to recover as quickly as he possibly can. This is going to be an interesting fight of the youngsters here of Lucas Roth and Fury. The Haas of Lucas Roth trying to get onto the back of Fury CBK as quickly as he possibly can. And you see, he trying to get a good run out the corner. He wants to be close enough so he gets DRS. I think he does get DRS, so he is now onto the back of Fury. He's got a great run here as they come up to turn 1. Fury goes to defend. Lucas Roth has to go to the outside. There's the DRS. He doesn't quite get the job done. He needs to get a good run out of this sector here. As he come out the back straight towards turn 4. Has Lucas Roth got the run? He's got the DRS. He's down the inside of Fury, and he's got the job done by the looks of thing, and Fury will have to concede there. Not much Fury could do unless he gets the switchback, but he's not quite alongside Lucas Roth. But that is it. Lucas Roth up into 2nd place as Fury makes contact with him, and he's spun round. He's in the wall. Or is he quite? No, he's not. He's managed to get away with that, but he has to be careful when returning back to the track. D-Biggs just avoiding that. So Fury was in second place, has now dropped to 6th place, so not the start he would have wanted. But Leon Fernie's still on the back of Gary 131. These guys are now fighting for 3rd place right now. Fury has now made a massive mistake and has dropped down to that 6th place position, not where he wants to be. As Sutty has moved up to 10th. What is going on here? We got the Much Nice Emo guy, all these guys battling it out for the final points position. Sutty up into 10th place position. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Who has made a mistake? It's Lucas Ruff. Lucas Ruff has made a mistake. He must have touched that inside curb. Wow, Keys has just thrown that away. He was in a solid 2nd place position. So as it stands, Matt Imovic leads the way for Aston Martin with Gary 131 in 2nd place. Wow, what a start for these Aston Martins. They've got a great chance of good points here. Gary just needs to keep it on track. Leon Thurney currently sitting in that 3rd place position and doing a great job. 6/10 on the back of Zia. Fury getting his way past D Biggs there, and a little bit aggressive on swerving there. Fury got a bit more careful on that as D Biggs tries to get the run and come up the back straight. Who's got the DRS? It's Biggs. So Fury trying to look away past if he possibly can, but Biggs has got that DRS and will be able to keep in front. And guys, I'm amazed. We are 5 laps in and we still got every single car out on track. So let's have a look at the position changes. Gary's moved up to 6 places. Leon Fernie's lost 1. D Biggs has made 2. Fury's lost 2. KLF's made 9 places from this. The McLaren Geo still quite close with one another. A bit off the pace is Kelly, but he's just making his way. He's just surviving as Fury's still on the back of Biggs. But PM Motorsport also pressurising KLF 900 right now. Fury with the DRS right now. Can he find a way past Biggs? He'll look down the inside. Can he do so? No, he'll have to wait a little bit longer. Mazda dropping down to 4 with his drive-through. Lucas Roth dropped to 4. Mutsnut staying in 10. Emogo lost 2. The Sutty lost 5. Phil up 1. Nicky down 1. Bryn up 1. And Floyd down with 4 places lost there. And we just want to keep an eye on the tyres here. A few guys have been into the pits and Sutty has opted to go for the hard tyres. We'll see how he gets on with the hards. Leon Fernie still on the back of Gary but is unable to do so. He's got the DRS but he's not quite close enough. Fury though is right onto the back of Biggs as we come up to turn 1. Biggs is not really going to fight it. He's just going to allow Fury to go down the inside. As we've got Disco McDisco in the comments here saying evening lads with a rock emoji there. And mate, I've got to say, everyone's still on track at this precise minute. D Biggs is now behind Fury. He will get the DRS. Will he be able to lunge down the inside? Fury defends the inside. Biggs goes to the outside. He has to be a bit cautious here. Try to get the cutback, but he doesn't do so. Kelly has got past PM Motorsport. I think PM Motorsport managed to get past him, but Biggs will have to just stay behind Fury a little bit longer. Careful with those curbs, boys, because they will spin you right round. So PM Motorsport is having to sit behind KLF 900, but Mazda is now starting to gain onto the back of these guys. Lucas Roth, by the looks of things, has made a pit stop and has put the medium tyres on. He's currently 14 seconds behind Mazda. So can he do anything about that? Wow. Cars, a lot of cars. Yes, Disco, we've managed to keep majority of the drivers here. But I keep warning them of those curbs. They got to be careful with them. So Lucas Roth currently right now trying to catch onto the back of Mazda. KLF, PN all fighting it hard. D-Biggs just looks like he's lost a bit of time to Fury on this lap and is just not able to stick with him. But he's just within the DRS zone. Can he be able to jump Fury with the DRS? We will see as Fury breaks a little bit early. D-Biggs going deep. He wants to get a good exit, good traction, and Fury is gone. Will go on board, and yeah, not quite close enough here, Biggs. 5 tenths is turning to 4 tenths, is slowly coming down, but he's not close enough to lunge down the inside. So you have to do it in the second DRS zone, which will down here. PM Motorsport has opted to pit. Oh, Fury with a snap-on exit there. How's he managed to keep that going? I don't know. But Biggs isn't close enough to benefit from that. And he will just have to sit behind him a little bit longer. But PM Motorsport into the pits. He's getting his pit stop done. Yellow flag. We have lost Nicky. Nicky has dropped it by the looks of things in the final sector. Safety car is deployed. And what a PN Motorsport timed that beautifully. So if I was the guys at the back of the pack, I'd be getting my pit stop done and out the way right now. DJ Phil staying out, but Bryn is coming in. And Floyd staying out, so Bryn opting for new tyres. But wow, Nicky has caused our first safety car of the evening. Disco facing the comments saying Aston boys are gone. Yes, they are, but Gary has got a penalty lingering over his head at this precise minute. But Matahimovic still leads this race. We are under safety car conditions. The first one of the session. Lap 7, 50 to go. And Matt leads the way. We'll see here, Matt is opting to pit. As is Gary 131. They're both opting to pit. This is going to be interesting. They're going to be stacked. Leon Fernie's in as well. What does Fury do? Does Fury stay out? Or Fury's coming in as well? Biggs is in as well. The problem is KLF is going to be a little bit far back. So they've had to stack Gary and Matt Tahimovic. But Gary's out. But he's managed to stay ahead of Leon Fernie. So that's helped him out a little bit. Biggs currently dealing with front wing damage. He's repairing that. KLF's in. Will he get caught out by Fury? That's the question. Fury is gone. And there's the crew ready for KLF 900. Lucas Roth currently going to... He's not allowed to go too fast, but his pit stop will help him get up the pack a little bit more. Who's he going to jump? He should jump Mazda, I think. So yeah, Lucas Roth up into 5th place position. He gets ahead of Biggs. So all these pit stops really causing a lot of changes to the grid. PM Motorsport hasn't been able to jump Kelly, so he will stay in 10th position. Not quite what PN wanted to. He got the choice bang on. He literally had the safety car come straight out. He already pitted, but it hasn't helped him out whatsoever. So he will he'll be in 10th place position. Mazda in 11th. That hasn't helped him, nor Sutty with the hard tyres, but it will bunch the pack up. So after all the pit stop, Aston Martin safety car leads the way with 2 Aston Martins right behind it of Matahimovic, Gary 131 and Leon Fernie. Still your top 3 with Lucas Roth in 5th and Fury fighting for 4th place. They've now gone to the medium tyre. Gary's gone to medium as well. So we see how those boys will get on. Leon Fernie and Matt still staying aggressive with the softs. D Biggs also on the medium tyre with the front wing change as well, so he will be able to push a little bit harder this lap. He's got his teammate of Emo Guy currently in 7th. The Mutts Nut slowly making his way up in 8th place position. KLF 900 in 9th. PN Motorsport in 10th. Mazda in 11th, the biggest loser I think out of that. Sutty in 12th on the hard tyres and really hasn't gained nothing from it. DJ Phil in 13th. Floyd in 14th position and Bryn in 15th. Hopefully these guys will be able to get back to the back of them as PM Motorsport gains a 5-second penalty there for collision with KLF 900. Boys, you've got to be careful under the safety car. We don't want this stop starting malarkey. You've got to stay at a nice easy pace and give each other the space. In the comments here, Disco McDisco says, did I miss something at that start? Oh no, I've cursed them. It was a little bit hectic going into turn 1 and 2, Disco. It was a bit chaotic, but if you watch it back, it was relatively sensible. No one having really any big incidences, no silly crashes or nothing. So we have still got the whole pack here as PM Motorsport's in the pits again. So he's serving his penalty, and I think he's fixing the front wing. No, he carries back on. So PN, obviously, with that mistake of crashing into the back of KLF, is really putting down now. He will be 14th, possibly 15th if Bryn jumps him, but we are still under safety car conditions. Welshie, good for Keegs on the medium tyres now. Yeah, he's in a good position here. They are slightly older than his rivals around him, Biggs and Fury with 3 laps younger tyres, and Gary as well. So Gary is kind of going to be the rear gunner for Matahimovic, but we will see how this will unfold. The restart will be interesting for sure. PM Motorsport and Bryn will slowly be catching onto the back of the pack. Guys, get behind your drivers, support them, and give as much shout out to them as we possibly can. Like and subscribe to the channel as well. Currently got 15 likes at this precise minute. Let's get as many likes as we possibly can. Hit that bell to be notified for when we are live, as well as DJ Phil has got a time penalty as well, possibly for making contact with Sutty, and looks like the front of the wing damage. Yeah, so it looks like he's hit the front of his car. But I believe the safety car should be in this lap. We've been out long enough on the safety car. Nicky's car has been moved away and put away for hopefully that Buzzy Boy to run next week. or sorry, the week after, because we will be racing the World Endurance. As there's the lights go out, the safety car is in this lap. Boys, let's make sure that you keep it under control. No stop starting, no messing around. Matahimovic will now take the pace. He will now be the safety car. He will choose how fast everyone goes and when he wants to go. Leon Fernie is revved up and ready to go. Can he get the jump on the two Aston Martins? That is the question. As we come into the final corner, where does Matt go? He's gone. Matahimovic has carried on. Lap 9 here of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and Matt is away. Gary with a poor start is now having to defend from Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie and Fury, they've all gone. What has happened there? Gary looks like he brake tested by the looks of things, and there's all sorts of going on here. As Biggs goes down the inside. As we go into turn 1, there's cars everywhere. Matahimovic going a little bit wide, but Biggs has got himself up past Lucas Roth and Fury by the list of things. But Leon Fernie's now making a move on Gary 131 as they come up into turn 4. Leon Fernie goes down the inside. And he gets past both Aston Martins. The Ferrari up into pole in the first place position. What a run there from Leon Fernie. Brilliant stuff. As he now gets past the Aston Martins. D Biggs currently in 4th place. Emo Guy in 5th. And Fury's dropped down to 7th. KLF currently in 8th place position, having to defend from the rest of the pack. Lucas Roth has had a horrid run show. He's got front wing damage just at the back of the pack. As you got here, Mazda trying to go around the outside, KLF 900, but he's going to hold it strong. He's going to fight for it. There's more damage. There's front wings everywhere. That's the Mercedes of Floyd going off there. What is going on with Fury? He's onto the dirt there and has lost time to the Mutts Nuts. So right now, Leon Fernie leads the way here on the restart with Matahimovic in 2nd place, Gary 131 in 3rd, D Biggs in 4th place, but is right onto the back of Gary now. As we've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Who is that? That's PN Motorsport. He's facing the wrong way. Has he been in contact with someone? There's a Haas going on his way, so maybe Lucas Roth has made contact with the Ferrari of PN Motorsport. Couple of damaged cars. Fury is into the pits. No front wing for him. That's KLF 900 and Sutty teammates in Pro Classically and GT3s. And looks like Sutty's got the edge over his teammate on the GTs, and he's down the inside. And again, right round the outside. Can he keep the position? He does so. Sutty bouncing over the curb. But we've lost the lead of the race. Leon Fernie back down the inside of Matt Matahimovic. Can Matt keep it on the outside? He does so. Leon, brilliant stuff, keeping the space. We've got a couple of comments coming in. Leon needs to get a good speed when the car goes away. Softy, yes, you go on, Leon. And Leon's round. Leon Fernie's touched the curb and he's gone round. His chance of taking a race win is gone. He's got to be careful when he returns back on track. Brin's coming down the straight, but Leon Fernie has dropped down now to 10th place position. Not good for him. Pushing a little bit too hard possibly then. And it's Aston Martin returning their 1-2 right now, with Matahimovic leading the way with Gary 131. D Biggs with that front wing repaired on the medium tyre is flying right now. Really starting to push the fight towards the leaders. So it's Aston Martin 1 and 2, Alpine 3 and 4, Williams 5 and 6, and then a McLaren of KLF 900 in 7th, 8th is Sutty, 9th is Leon Fernie after his spin, and 10th is Brin bringing up the rear. Wow, as we now got another yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, and what is this? It's Leon Fernie and Brin making contact. Leon Fernie's race is going backwards as Floyd has crashed out. We have another safety car. What a dramatic restart to this race. KLF 900 in 8th place right now. So any of the guys with damage can get in, repair their cars and change tyres if they want to. Oh my god, guys, that restart had more action going on in that than any of the other restarts we've had in the season so far. Loads of changes, but it is Aston Martin 1-2 currently with Matahimovic and Gary in 2nd. D Biggs in 3rd with his teammate from Alpine, Emo Guy, in 4th. 5th goes the way of the Mutts Nuts and Mazda, both Williams drivers in 5th and 6th. Sutty has now got himself up into 7th place for Haas. 8th place is KLF 900 for the McLaren duo. There's Leon Fernie and PN Motorsport, Ferrari 9 and 10. Brin in 11th done his pit stop as drive-through penalty of speeding under the safety car for Gary 131. Aston Martin's 1-2 is about to come to an end as Lucas Roth in the pits. Has he gone hards? He normally likes to go to the hards. No, he's gone soft, so that's going to be an interesting call. Can Lucas Roth stay in front of the pack before they get round? I think he will do so. A couple of comments coming in. Lincoln F tile. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will be adjusted. I know the exclamation mark. That will be adjusted at some point, possibly at the end of the video. Welsh in the comments, what the hell? Why are cars braking or going slow on a straight? Angry emoji. I don't know. Disco McDisco, here we go again, laughing ha ha ha. Johnny Murphy, oh, Leon with the sad emoji as well. Leon was doing so well in that restart. He looked like he had the lead of the race. So Gary, obviously with his drive-through penalty, can't serve it under safety car conditions. We've got a few guys in the pits, the Mutts Nuts and Emo Guy, all guys opting to get their pit stops done out the way. So Mutt Stutz carries on there. Lucas Roth also a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car conditions. Welshie Keys was brake checked on the straight or car in front lifted. PM Motorsport, oh no, hit me. Lost it on the curb. Such a shame for PM Motorsport, but he is still in this race. Anything can still happen. As you saw in Australia, we had so many safety cars, so many cars drop out. It's all about surviving and staying on track. But Mate Himovic still leads this race with Gary 131 in second, Biggs in third place position, Mazda in fourth now. Sutty has managed to get himself up into fifth place. KLF 900 in sixth with Leon Fernie in seventh place on his soft tyres. Emo Guy in 8th has changed to the medium tyre with the Mutts Nuts on soft after his pit stop. Bryn still on the soft tyres as he carries on round. DJ Phil in 11th place. PN Motorsport has opted to go to the medium tyre and is in the pit. Has opted to pit. Fury in 13th place position and on the softs, and Lucas Roth on the softs as well. As Fury in the comments saying, sorry Keegs, got brake checked by Leon Fernie, so I had to lift. So by the sound of things, Leon Fernie just lifted as he got onto the back of Gary, or braked or something, got a little bit too close to the back of Gary, and then all chaos commenced. So safety car will stay out for another lap as we are waiting for the rest of the cars to come onto the back of the pack. Couple of more comments coming in. Welshie, no Floyd, says Welshie with the sad emoji. PM Motorsports, tried tyres. And Floyd, Leon Fernie in the comments saying, had to brake or I would have went into the back of Gary. Disco McDisco saying, Gary can run along and open the gap. I think Aston still for a 1-2. Matt has to get on with it now. He's had an opportunity to try and extend the gap with the softs, but he had pressure from Leon Fernie as the pit window has opened for a two-stop strategy for the mediums. But I don't think we'll be sticking to the two. I think most people will probably end up three-stopping, as most of these guys have pitted already. Let's actually look at the pit stop penalties wise. Gary's got a drive through, as does Lucas Roth, but they can't serve it under the safety car. So the top 7 have done a 1-stop. Leon Fernie is currently in the pits by the looks of things, or has had a spin. I'm not sure what's happening there. He's dropped behind Emo Guy, so not sure what, or yeah, he's dropped behind Emo Guy. I'm not sure why, but he has done so. Maybe he's had a spin, but he's on 1 stop. Couple 2 stops at the minute from DJ Phil, Emo Guy and the Mutts Nuts, and everyone else is on a 3-stop right now. And we'll keep an eye on the change of tyres in the comments here. We got Johnny Murray, Leon still good for 2nd and 3rd place position. He's got a lot of work to do, Johnny, but we have still got a long way to go. Lap 14 of 57. And it's still Mate Himovic who leads the way. We are still waiting for Lucas Roth to catch onto the back of the pack, but he will be having to go straight into the pits and serve his drive-through. Also, Gary 1-3 run with a drive-through as well. I don't know how much Gary can recover from this, but hopefully he can. Only lap 13, heads down and focus, says Welshie. Yes, we're only on lap 13. Oh, wow, now 14, so long way still to go. These guys can still gain good points, and we still can have another safety car, as the safety car lights have gone out and we're about to get back underway here at Bahrain, as Matt will take over the pace of the safety car. He's gone very slow. The rest of the guys have to be careful not to get too close as Biggs opts to go to the side so he does not crash into the back of anyone. But Matt going very, very slow at this rate. Gary's right there next to him. Biggs has to be a little bit careful that he doesn't get too close. We don't want to get any damage from being too close to the back of the Aston Martin, as we will go into the final corner now. Matimovic goes. He goes in the same position. Gary's a little bit more weight this time. Biggs not quite close enough. As we go down the main straight, Matimovic carries on leading this race with Gary 131 in second, but Biggs is on pressure to Gary, trying to look for a way past if he possibly can. A little bit better restart from these guys, but they're managed to get right close to the back of Biggs as we now go into turn 1. In the background, KLF 900 and Sutty battling it out, but it is Matimovic leads the way. Gary, D Biggs, Mazda, Sutty, all these guys. Look at all the guys in the background trying to get positions back. Emo guy under pressure from KLF. KLF seems to be going backwards with those hard tyres. Looks like he hasn't got them switched on. And now Leon Fernie's looking to go around the outside into the S's. They make contact and they've hit. Leon Fernie's gone round. Careful boys, not hitting Leon Fernie, but someone does. DJ Phil hits Leon Fernie, front wing damage. 5-second penalty for collision for Leon Fernie. I don't think that's really fair to Leon. He was in the middle of nowhere, but DJ Phil and Leon Fernie with damage. Fury trying to make his way back. He's right onto the back of Bryn. Can he get a good exit? As you see, the Mutts Nuts also right onto the back of KLF. Can he get down the inside? He looks to try and do so. KLF defends it, but he keeps hit the position and he carries on his way. He's struggling on those hard tyres, but the pace we want to keep an eye on is Biggs on the medium tyre. Can he stick with the Aston Martins of Gary 131 and Matt? Matt is obviously belted and gone. As we've got a yellow flag in the final sector there. Who has had a spin? No one below this thing's a little bit of contact, but we see here Lucas Roth just getting a little bit too close to the back of KLF as Gary's in the pits to serve his drive-through. Lucas Roth making contact with KLF. KLF really off the pace with those hard tyres. He's dropping back. Fury now up a few places. He's looking to try and make a move on the Mutts Nuts. He goes down the inside. Bryn's there as well. Bryn goes down the inside and he gets the job done on Fury. Fury have better traction, a better run into turn 2 and he stays in front. Great racing. Lucas Roth right there as well. KLF on the back of this as well. No DRS at this precise stage. Lucas Roth down the inside of Bryn. Can he get the job done on the Haas? They rub doors. Sorry, tyres. They don't have doors. But Lucas Roth gets the job done and passed Bryn. Great stuff there from Lucas Roth. As my laptop's gone down, so I won't be able to see any of the comments. I'll get it back as quickly as I possibly can. But Bryn goes down the inside of Lucas Roth. They rub tyres again. Can he get back in front as they come down to the slow hairpin? As Lucas Roth is now right onto the back of Fury. Oh, Bryn's gone round. Has he collected KLF? Yes, he has. He's collected KLF and he's in the wall. Can he select reverse gear? Oh, a little bit careful there, Kelly, as you returning back to the pits. Nearly hit Gary. Leon Fernie back out, but as Matimovic leads the way with D Biggs in second, but Mazda now onto the back of D Biggs and is trying to hunt him down and try and find a way past if he possibly can. Now my Matimovic though with flying lap time is pulling away. He's got a 3.5 gap to the rest of the pack. Biggs in second. DRS is now enabled. Mazda will not have it down the back straight, but he should have it down the second straight. Can he get as close as he can to Biggs? Johnny Murray in the comments, crying emoji by the looks of things there. He's obviously sad about Leon Fernie. Down the back straight. Has Mazda got the DRS? He has, but he's not close enough. A poor exit has cost him to get a little bit closer to the back of Biggs, as we see here. Sutty currently in 5th place. A little bit of pressure from the Mutts Nuts. Sutty obviously trying to run those hards for as long as he possibly can. The Mutts Nuts looking here, there and everywhere to try and find a way past that Haas car, but he's unable to do so. A couple of guys in the pits, and that is Bryn and KLF. All got damage. It's all about surviving here at F1 Simplay Motorsport. As you see there, the Mutts Nuts all looking to try and make a move on the inside of Sutty, but is unable to do so. Sutty under immense pressure from this Williams. Can he do anything about it? Also, Mazda now right onto the back of Biggs. He needs to have a good exit out of the final corner so he can get the benefit of the DRS. The Nuts going right round the outside of Sutty and gets the job done. Brilliant stuff there from him, as Fury now is looking to try and make a move on Sutty also. Sutty now starting to struggle with those hard tyres. They got a lot less pace. So Fury on the back of Sutty. Can he get the job done into the final corner? He does so. And I believe he should get the DRS if he managed to figure that out to perfection. And looks like Sutty now onto the back of Fury. He does get the DRS. So does Sutty. As they now come down the back straight. Mazda looks like he will have to stay behind Biggs a little bit longer. Fury down the inside of the Nuts. Can he get the job done? He's not quite close enough. Yellow flag in sector 2. Why we got a yellow flag? It's Bryn. And we got another safety car. Bryn is out of this race. Mazda having to yield there to not get a penalty. And I think Fury would have done so as well. So we are under safety car conditions once again, ladies and gentlemen. This time Bryn dropping it in the second sector. Are we able to see where the car is? It's Matt Imovic going very slow here. Matt must be absolutely annoyed right now. The amount of safety cars. He's building a gap to Biggs and Mazda. Mazda obviously on the softs as well. But Biggs with the longer life tyre, it's going to benefit Biggs more. He's able to save the tyre a little bit more, so he's able to do less stops. But another safety car here, guys. We have lost Bryn, Guten Duffin and Nicky. So hopefully they can get on and do a bit more practice for the next round of the championship, which I believe is Imola, if I remember rightly. I just have to look at the Discord. But like I said, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you do like what you see here. Hit the bell to be notified for when we are live. And make sure you tune in for this week. We are round 2 at Watkins Glen for the Pro-Am and Pro category. And also we have... Oh, Fury's retired. What's happened to Fury? He's hit the wall. What has Fury done there? I'm not sure what Fury has done there. He's hit the wall. Oh, okay. Interesting. Under safety car. Not sure how that's happened, but that's happened. Make sure you tune in 2 weeks time when we will be back for F1 for round 3, which is the Imola Grand Prix, Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I tried saying that as best I can in my best Italian accent. Probably didn't work, but you know, Fury there currently out of this session. I don't know exactly what's happened. He's hit the wall. He must be absolutely kicking himself right now, but Mazda's been into the pits. He's opted to go for the medium tyre while we got a safety car. So Bryn has left the session, obviously due to his accident. Fury dropped it under the safety car. That's a little bit embarrassing. That's a bit of a George Russell moment there. But your running order at this precise minute is Matt Imovic, safety car number 3 here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Matt Imovic leads the way with D-Biggs in second, Emo Guy in third, and Alpine 2-3 at the minute. Fourth goes away with the Nuts. Fifth is Sutty Apex for Haas. Sixth is the Ferrari of PN Motorsport, with seventh of Gary 131 in the Aston Martin. Mazda in 8th place for Williams. 9th place goes the way of DJ Phil. 10th place is Lucas Roth for the Haas. 11th is Leon Fonian trying to recover his race, and a 12th place position is KLF 900 for McLaren. And at this rate, I don't think Kelly's going to catch to the back of the pack. The San Marino Grand Prix, that's right, PN. Was it Emilia Romagna, something other in Italian Grand Prix? Basically Imola. And if we had rain like we did last time when we did a race at Imola, it's going to be interesting. Can Mazda take another win at Imola? Or will a certain driver like myself bottle it on the second to last lap? We will see in 2 weeks time. But like I said, make sure you tune in between now and then, because we will have the GT3 Pro and Pro-Am category back at Watkins Glen. And if the weather forecast is true for what I've seen, it's going to be an interesting week for sure. Watkins Glen known to be quite a difficult circuit in the dry, let alone in the wet. So if the rain is forecast, could be an interesting race to watch. Set in the early morning or evening, I can't remember. Matt will tell me and shout at me nonetheless. But make sure you tune in for that. And then obviously Saturday next week will be our first World Endurance race. 6 hours of Silverstone. LMP2s versus GTEs. Obviously, well, I say versus, but they are the categories. So make sure you tune in for that. 6 hours of Silverstone. For every 3 or 4 weeks, we will be running a World Endurance race. First up is Silverstone. So Matt still leads this race at the minute. We're at lap 20 of 57. Still a very long way to go. 37 laps of this race. In the comments here, the Evil Scotsman, Baku is going to be fun. Not just Baku, mate. There's also Monaco is going to be a very interesting race. I think that's just going to be about battle of survival. Has KLF caught up to the pack? No, he's still up in sector 1, while these guys are in the middle in sector 2. I believe the safety car might be coming in this lap. He's going as fast as he can, but it's not quite enough at this rate. Matt will probably take the pace again and go really slow like he's been doing. He's come through the final sector now. Will the lights go off? No, we got one more safety car lap, and that's just because Kelly hasn't quite caught the back of the pack. Do any of these guys opt for a pit stop, or will they all stay out on track? It's all going to help the guys who are on long runs with their tyres just to go a little bit further without having to stress the tyres out too much. But as we are in this safety car zone at this precise minute, guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. 22 people currently watching the stream. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live every Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday, Sunday as well. As Matt still leads this race as we are under safety car conditions. Where is KLF? He is now on the back straight. He will now catch to the back of the pack. Can he retain any more points from this race? A couple of guys to keep an eye on for is Leon Fernie. He's dropped to the hard tyres. He's only done 4 laps on them. How far can he go on those tyres? Obviously the safety car will help him go a little bit further, trying to keep as much temperature in the tyres as we possibly can. Guys, make sure as well, later on in the race, we will be looking to try and look at our driver of the day. Obviously, the game will pick the driver of the day, but also we will look to see who will take driver of the day here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm going to try my best not to pick the same driver, but if they've done the best job, then obviously we will hand it to them. But at this minute, Matt leads the way. And currently the fastest lap has gone the way of Matt, so he gains that extra point for fastest lap as well. So he's currently maximising points right now. Penalties. Gary still got a server 3-second penalty, but that will be added on to the end of the race. Stops currently. Matt's done 1, Big's done 1, Emo Guy 2, Mutt's Nuts 2, Sutty 1, PM Motorsport 3, Gary 1, Mazda 2, Phil 3, Lucas Roth 4, Leon Fernie 2, and KLF 900 with 3. And the position changes there, your position changes, and the 2 Alpine drivers really benefiting from that, but Leon Fernie losing out the most, as I believe the safety car will be coming in this lap. Yes, it does so. And let's get rid of that. So Matt Imovic will retain the pace of the race here. Can he have a decent restart? He hasn't got the benefit of Gary defending him this time. He has got D-Biggs and Emo Guy with the medium tyre set up, with Mazda not too far behind as well. Guys getting a little bit too close to one another. Emo Guy, can he help his teammate? Can the 2 Alpines take the lead of the race? As Matt Imovic has gone. D-Biggs will want to stick to as close as he possibly can. Emo Guy hasn't quite gone with him. But it is Biggs and Matt going into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top as we get underway back again here at Bahrain? And Matt has got the advantage so far as the rest of the guys come up into turn 1. Looks like there's a Haas as Mazda blocks the path of DJ Phil and Lucas Roth. And DJ Phil really pushing himself way through there. Emo Guy under pressure from the Mutt's Nuts. Mutt's Nuts looking down the inside. Can he get the job done? He gets the nose in front, but he's not able to get any traction or grip, and he will stay behind Emo Guy. A couple of guys falling back. DJ Phil with a penalty. Lucas Roth dropping back. Leon Fernie and PM Motorsport all struggling to get going. Lucas Roth goes deep. He might possibly have damage to the front wing, so Lucas Roth trying his best as Kelly goes down the inside. What has happened to Lucas Roth? He looks like he's pulling over. What is happening here to Keegs? And he left the session by those things. So Keegs obviously not happy and has disappeared from the session. So Matt still leads this race with the soft tyres. D-Biggs not the best restart in second place. Emo Guy under massive pressure from the Mutts Nuts. We're on board with the Mutts Nuts. Can he get a good run through this final sector and try and get past Emo Guy and hunt down the leaders? They come down the back straight. Gary's also on the back of Sutty. What can the Mutts Nuts do in this position? They go into the final corner. Biggs has gone quite wide in the final corner. That's going to allow both of these guys to get a little bit closer, but no DRS. It's all down to slipstream. As the Mutts Nuts is actually losing out to Emo Guy here. Emo Guy will hold on to that position. Everyone kind of holding station. DJ Phil is just ahead of KLF 900. He's not able to do anything, but the Ferraris have changed position. Leon Fernie up into 10th place position and PN Motorsport in 11th. Lucas Roth's car is currently in the pits. I don't know if it's a disconnection or something, but he is not in the session at this precise minute. But it is Matt who leads the way and extends his gap 2.6 seconds ahead of D-Biggs. D-Biggs in second with Emo Guy in third and the Mutts Nuts right behind him now. Can he do anything about him as they come through in the middle sector? I don't think the DRS has been enabled just yet, so it's the next lap. 2 laps until we get DRS, but look how close he is to the back of the Alpine. Be amazed if he gets it done into this left-hander. Emo Guy suffering a little bit of internet issues there, but as the Mutts Nuts not able to do anything there. He's got to be patient and wait as Gary has done Sutty. Sutty's dropped back and Mazda now giving Sutty a bit of pressure. Sutty on the hard tyres for 20 laps. So he's done a long stint on those tyres. We are coming to halfway of this race. And the Mutts Nuts looking to try and taking advantage of getting past Emo Guy. He's had a decent exit out the final corner. He won't get DRS on this straight, but he should get it down the second straight. He is right onto the back of Emo Guy, but he's not being able to catch him. Emo Guy looking like he's got a more less downforce setup, so he's able to go faster down the straight. So the Mutts Nuts, as we see, Mazda has got past Sutty. Sutty really will have to come in and change those medium tyres at some point. The Mutts Nuts not quite able to do anything there, as he wasn't quite close enough to do anything about Emo Guy. So Mazda has now jumped ahead of Sutty. Sutty on the hard tyres, really going as long as he possibly can. But right now he is not really benefiting on being on those tyres. DJ Phil in 8th and KLF 900 in 9th place position. All these guys still scoring points. Leon Fernie back in the pits again. After a great start to this race, it's going horribly wrong for him. But Matt has disappeared and has gone down the road on the soft tyre. Race. D-Biggs currently in second place with Emo Guy in third and the Mutts Nuts in fourth, still trying to find a way past. Mazda is caught onto the back of Gary, but Gary with that 3-second penalty hanging over his head. Can he extend the gap to the rest of the guys so he does not get hindered by that? Mazda taking a lot of track limits there as he exits the penultimate corner. Can he find a way past? The Mutts Nuts will have DRS. Can he finally get past Emo Guy, or has Emo Guy got enough less downforce to stay in front? The Mutts Nuts trying everything he can, but he's not close enough by the looks of things and is not going to be able to do it. Meanwhile, Mazda is going down the inside of Gary. These two had a trip over each other in Australia and Mazda looks to try and make the position, but Gary hangs it strong around the outside and keeps ahead of Mazda. The Mutts Nuts has got a run on Emo Guy. Emo Guy with a poor exit by the looks of things, and that's allowing the Williams to go down the inside, and the Mutts Nuts up into that third place position. Emo Guy with a wiggle on exit there. So Emo Guy losing out there to the Mutts Nuts. Can the Mutts Nuts now catch and pass D-Biggs? That is the question. Mazda now ahead, trying to find a way past Gary 131. He was briefly alongside him, but is now behind him once again, and more track limits there from Mazda. He's really pushing as hard as he can. DJ Phil now is starting to come under pressure from KLF 900. Kelly, oh, he has a wiggle there and he just keeps it under control. Mazda with DRS, can he find a way past Gary 131? Emo Guy right onto the back of the Mutts Nuts. It looks like the Mutts Nuts has gone heavy downforce. He's gone heavy downforce while Emo Guy has gone less downforce. So Emo Guy is faster in the straights but slower in the corners. As we see there, Mazda getting right onto the back of Gary there. It'll be silly to try and go down the inside of him into the final corner. He'll want to use the DRS advantage, but Emo Guy, obviously as well, he wants the DRS to make sure that he benefits as the Much Nuts pits. That's interesting. Gary 131 also gets the DRS. Mazda is right behind. And Mazda looks to the inside of Gary but can't get the job done. These guys are a lot closer to Emo Guy. Emo Guy has lost his DRS advantage now to Gary and Mazda. So can Gary get past Emo Guy? That's the question. Alpine, Aston Martin versus Williams. Who's going to come out on top? Gary really trying to look for a way past Emo Guy but can't do so at the minute. This is helping out Biggs massively to extend his gap. Mazda currently on the better tyres right now. He will be enjoying this as well, making sure he's getting a little bit closer to Matt, his rival for this season, but he's got to pass his teammate first. Great on boards here of these guys. This is your closest fight on track. Gary gets the DRS. Mazda gets the DRS. Mazda looking like he's going to try and make a move on Gary. He looks to the inside but thinks better of it. It's going to wait for a little bit longer. Emo Guy, what can he do to keep these guys behind him? He looks like he had better traction coming up the hill. Can anyone stop Matt? Says Disco McDisco Face at this precise minute. No, Matt, it leads the way and is gone. But by the listings, lost a little bit of time to D-Biggs. He did have a 4.2 second gap. It's now down to 4 seconds. So Matt, not the best of laps by the looks of things. Gary, currently under pressure from Mazda and Emo Guy. Emo Guy just hanging on. He looks like he's got the better straight line, but Mazda is now behind Gary. DRS, but Gary with the DRS as well. He's just being able to hang in there and they catch onto the back of Emo Guy as they get to the end of the straight. And just like we've got that typical DRS train where you get stuck behind one car and all the other cars are stuck behind it as well. Emo Guy with strong straight line speed is able to keep these guys behind. Mazda misjudged his braking there and just avoids Gary. Gary now onto the back of Emo Guy. It's all getting a bit hot and spicy between these guys. PM Motorsport onto the back of KLF 900. He looks to the inside. Kelly defends the inside. PN thinks better of it and will stay behind Kelly for the meantime. Let's go back to the action of Gary, Emo Guy and Mazda. This has been a great fight between these guys. Matt has disappeared up the road. D-Biggs is slowly extending his gap to the guys behind, but he needs to get on with it a little bit more because at this rate he's going to get jumped by these guys. Possibly with the fresh tyres though, Biggs will be able to stay in front of them. Emo Guy seems very strong in this sector. That gives him enough of a breathing space between Gary and a Mazda, and is not able to do anything. Mazda running extremely wide there. KLF still under pressure from PN Motorsport. Can PN Motorsport do anything about that? Mazda once again onto the back of Gary. Poor exit there from Mazda. He's not going to be able to do anything with Gary. Gary not the best of exits either. Is unable to do anything to Emo Guy. So once again we are stuck in that DRS train and no one's able to do anything. As Kelly is now caught onto the back of DJ Phil. Will Kelly get the DRS? No, he doesn't. So he's going to have to just slowly work his way onto the back of DJ Phil. Mazda's got DRS, looks to the inside of Gary, but is unable to get the job done. So once again, they're going to be following each other through the middle sector. Kelly looks like he wants to try and get a good exit, good traction, and try and get past DJ Phil. Kelly on the back straight with the DRS. Can he find a way past into turn 4? No, he doesn't. He'll have to sit behind DJ Phil a little bit longer. We still got this fight going on. Mata Himovic though, 19 laps on the soft and extends his gap still to D-Biggs. D-Biggs 19 laps on the mediums, but we thought they could go quite long anyway. These two doing a good job at the minute, just trying to slowly pull away from this fight of Emo Guy, Gary and Mazda. Sutty currently doing it strong, 25 laps on the hard tyre. He's gone really long into this. What will he change to when he comes to the pits? That's the question. DJ Phil under pressure from Kelly. KLF 900 looks to the inside. Can he get past the Red Bull? He's down the inside and he gets the job done. Nothing that DJ Phil could do in that sense. Matt is in the pits. As you see here, Mazda is now on to the back of Gary. Gary not sticking to Emo Guy. And it looks like Gary's going to lose out on DRS here. Gary can't really fight with Mazda here and would just have to lose the position, but he's sticking with the outside. Can he get the job done? Later on the brakes, he's running right round the outside and Gary just hangs on. Mazda with a better exit, better traction here. Mazda going right round the outside and it looks like he's got the job done. Gary back into the slipstream. Is he going to look down the inside? No. He will stay behind the Mazda. So can Gary use Mazda now to both of them get past Emo Guy? Matt has pitted. He's dropped himself in a lovely window where he's currently ahead of KLF 900. And Kelly has got that job done on DJ Phil. So Kelly slowly making his way back up the pit positions, but he's currently in 6th place position. Matimovic with his pit stop finally done and out the way. Can he go to the end on these mediums? That's the question. Sati still on those hards, as we see here. Emo Guy and Biggs for Alpine still lead the way with a 1-2. Now Matt has pitted. What can these guys do with this strategy? Matt with fresh mediums, he'll be able to push a little bit harder and should hopefully get the jump. Gary still not quite close enough to Mazda here. What can Gary do? Will he opt to go into the pits and get a fresh set of tyres? Mazda with the better tyres right now. As the Mutts Nuts and DJ Phil are going at it, and Mutts Nuts has got ahead of DJ Phil. So another position for Williams there. Emo Guy is going to be under pressure from Mazda here. Mazda down the back straight. Emo Guy goes and defends for turn 1. Mazda has to go around the outside. And Emo Guy later on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he does. Mazda trying to get a better run, a better traction. Can he get up the hill and ahead of Emo Guy? He gets the DRS. Or he doesn't. No, they don't. So they went across the beam together at the same time. And Emo Guy will fight for this position. He's gone deep by the looks of things. He has. And that's allowed Mazda to come back through. And Mazda now up into 2nd place position. Mazda just outsmarting Emo Guy there and has moved his way up. Gary not able to do anything and not able to fight for those positions, so we just have to sit and wait in 4th place position. Kelly and the Mutts Nuts are going at it. Kelly down the inside, they make contact. The Mutts Nuts hangs it in there and gets ahead of KLF 900. The remaining McLaren losing out to the Williams of the Mutts Nuts there. Brilliant stuff from the Mutts Nuts. Kelly goes down the inside. Misses his braking by a mile there, and the Mutts Nuts goes back in front and luckily doesn't lose out to DJ Phil. We go back to Gary and Emo Guy. The gap has come back down. Emo Guy looks like he's got better straight line than the guys around him. Can he stick to Mazda? Can he be able to get back past the Williams? It looks like he had a bad exit and Mazda's able to just pull away a little bit. Down the back straight here, Mazda will stay ahead. Has Emo Guy got the DRS? Yes, he has. Gary also got DRS as well. The gap's coming down, but I don't think Emo Guy is going to get close enough to actually do anything about it. Biggs currently 5 seconds ahead of these guys, and he's staying well ahead of these guys and making sure he's managing that gap. He will have to think about pitting soon, though. Emo Guy trying to help his teammate as much as he possibly can by holding up Mazda, but I think Mazda has got the edge over these guys with those fresh set of tyres. 6 laps younger than Emo Guys and 11 laps younger than Gary. How long can Gary go on those mediums? That's the question. Both Biggs and Gary on the same strategy by the looks of things. But Biggs, this is what we want to see, Biggs. This is what I want to see on a Thursday night, mate, in our new McLaren. I want to see us leading this race. But Biggs doing a good job at the minute to maintain the gap as Mazda is under a lot of pressure here from Emo Guy. So Emo Guy must have had a great first sector there and is right onto the back of Mazda once again. Will he look to the inside? He doesn't on this time, but he will get the benefit of the back straight. Gary obviously was in the mix of that as well, but he's lost out big time by the looks of things and is not able to benefit once again when he needs to. We got a yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? KLF 900 going backwards. Is it him? It looks like he's slow. Has he got damage to the front wing? I can't see from this angle, but might possibly do. But Emo Guy now onto the back of Mazda. Can he get the run into turn 1? He's a lot closer this time. Emo Guy looks to the inside. Mazda opts to stay on the outside. It goes wide. Wait a minute. D-Biggs has made a mistake. He's made himself vulnerable to these guys. So Mazda now hangs into Emo Guy. D-Biggs has made a big mistake somewhere. Emo Guy down the inside, but he thinks better of it. Biggs, what has happened? Pushing too hard and probably dropped it in the first few corners. And now has lost valuable time, not just to Matt, but to Mazda and Emo Guy and Gary. This is hotting up for the front. These guys pretty much battling it out for second, third, fourth positions. And fifth as well. Sutty 6 seconds off the pace, but Matt Imovic is catching on to the back of Sutty. Not what Matt would want. Kelly in the pits. I think he did have front wing damage. The two Ferraris battling it out. But we stick to this fight. This is the important fight. Emo Guy down the inside of Mazda. They rub doors. Emo Guy hanging in there. Mazda sticking with it. Mazda doing everything he can. There's a slow hash there of Lucas Roth, and I think that's the AI in control of that car. And Lucas Roth gets out of the way. And all these guys currently in the DRS train. D-Biggs has managed to break the train, but will Biggs opt to pit? No. Mazda stays out as well. Emo Guy stay out. Gary's a lot closer to Emo Guy. But remember, Emo Guy seems to have the better straight line speed down the back straight, as Leon Fernie is out of this race. And we've got a safety car. We have a safety car here deployed. This is perfect opportunity for guys whose tyres are much, much older. Biggs can get in. Gary can get in, as Sutty has pitted by the looks of things. The Mutts Nuts as well. All these guys can get in and get their tyres changed. Wow. Leon Fernie was looking good to try and take it to the leaders earlier on, and he is out of this race. Safety car has been deployed. Lap 33 here of 57. And here we go again, a nice little break. We can calm down. Matt will benefit quite a bit out of this, but Biggs will need to get around. He has to stick to a delta, so he can't go too fast. Neither can the rest of the others. Matt will have to stick to the delta as well. But this is really thrown out there. If I was Emo Guy, I'd think about just backing off a little bit, give himself a little bit of space to Biggs so that he can get in and out with him if he needs to. But I think if I was Biggs, I'd be in this lap and get a set of fresh mediums on the car. He obviously was struggling earlier on, and he lifts right off there. Mazda obviously might stay out. Matt will probably stay out as well. Sutty, if I was him, I'd be coming into the pits. He's got a nice gap to the Mutts Nuts, basically a free pit stop. Biggs is in. Mazda will take the lead of the race. Emo Guy is in as well. So these guys all opt into pit. The two Alpines gets their pit stop out the way. Gary staying out. That's an interesting call. He stays out. 25 lap old tyres. What can he do with that? Biggs is out. Matt with 4 laps old tyres, but Biggs with a fresh set of mediums will come back out. Sutty is in and he gets rid of the hards. What does he go to? He is going to the medium tyre, held up by Keegs' car earlier on there, so he will not benefit. A quick pit stop. DJ Phil is in. So we will see the winners and losers after all the pit stops. Sutty is coming back out. He will stay ahead of DJ Phil and PN Motorsport. Guys, we have lost Leon Fernie, Fury, Bryn, Floyd and Nicky so far. 5 cars out of this race, 11 still running, but Lucas Roth currently not in the car. We will see if he decides to come back in. DJ Phil in the pits. KLF also opt into pit. Whoa, he come flying into the pits there. Not sure why Kelly's up in the pit. Maybe he's going to the medium tyre, but Matt's still looking very strong to retain this lead. What does he do though? He has got Biggs on younger tyres though. Can Biggs take the fight to Matt here? He's given an opportunity here to really put Matt under pressure. The safety car has brought the gap closer to one another. Matt in third, but Biggs, I would say, is his biggest challenger right now. With Mazda and Gary on older tyres, they might be able to swap to the softs, but then that means an extra lap and going a little bit longer. Is Keegs in the car? No, I don't believe so. Simplay Motorsport, I don't believe he is. The AI is currently in the car. But after the pit stops, it is Mazda who leads the way with 14 lap old tyres. Gary with the oldest set of tyres now, 25 laps under his belt. Mazda still leading ahead of Matt Imovic, and Matt with a 4 lap old tyre. Biggs changed tyres and is in 4th place. The Mutt's Nuts currently in the wall for some bizarre reason is in 5th place. Emo Guy in 6th place. Sutty in 7th, now on a set of mediums. PM Motorsport in 8th. 9th is DJ Phil. 10th is KLF 900, and Keegs or Lucas Roth currently in 11th, and car is not got driver in it at this precise stage. So guys, as we are in this quiet session, quiet part of the session where we've got the safety car is out, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell to be notified for when we are live here at Simplay Motorsport. Tune in as well for the weeks coming of racing. Wednesday and Thursday night is the Pro and Pro-Am drivers GT3s as we head to Watkins Glen for rounds 3 and 4 of the Pro-Am and Pro season. And then tune in on Saturday for our 6 hour of Silverstone. Make sure you follow that as well. LMP2s will hit the track with the GTEs as well. 8 of each class who will take the first win of our World Endurance Championship. We shall see. Jamie Brazy in the comments saying safety car, safety car. We've had 4 safety cars this race. We have lost Leon Fernie, Fury, Bryn, Floyd and Nicky. Those 5 drivers all out of this race. But Mazda currently leading the way at this precise stage of the race. Still, I think he's yet to pit. Lap 35 of 57. Not long left of this race. We are just over halfway of the race. Well, easily over halfway of this race. As the safety car is in this lap. As Kelly has joined onto the back of the pack. Yes, he has. Pushing it to the limit, but he has joined to the back of the pack. He has to be careful as he catches the pack. But Mazda this time leads them away. What is he going to do on the restart? And Mazda has gone. Safety car is in. Mazda leads the way for Williams. Matt Imovic right onto the back of Gary. Gary, by the looks of things, will probably allow him through, but Biggs will want to stick to him as close as he possibly can. As my laptop just disappears as we get back under racing once again. Matt down the inside of Gary. Gary's going to battle it out though for some reason. Gary stays in front of his teammate, and Gary's dropped it. That's allowed the whole pack to go through by the looks of things. So Gary, poor decision there to fight with his teammate and has lost out massively to the rest of the guys. He's dropped down to 7th place. Sutty looking to try and make a move on him, but gone wide, and now Sutty with the fresh set of mediums is going to get past Gary 131. No, Gary hangs in there. What can these guys do? Matt Imovic currently in 2nd, trying to hunt down Mazda with older tyres, and then younger tyres once again from Biggs. Can Biggs stick to the back of these guys? We shall see, as the Alpine cars look like to have the better strategy at this stage, but Biggs has to get the performance out of them. Mazda now under pressure from Matt. Matt looking to get right onto the back of Mazda. He'll want the DRS, but he won't get the DRS on this lap. 2 laps until the DRS is enabled, so you want to stick to the back of that Williams as close as he possibly can as we come down the back straight now. So Matt looking to try and gain the race lead once again, but Mazda's going to push him to the limit. Down the main straight we go. Matt, is he close enough to make a move on Mazda? Mazda goes to the inside. Mazda made that look a little bit too easy there. As PM Motorsports into the pits there, Mazda lets Matt through, and Matt retakes the lead of the race. Wow, I thought Mazda would have fought a little bit harder than that, but he's got the run on the 2nd straight. He's not close enough to do anything about that. So possibly is Mazda waiting for another safety car so he can put some soft tyres on and push to the end. Who knows, but nonetheless, he's lost the lead to Matt. And D Biggs isn't too far behind either. Hopefully Biggs can try and get through as well. And Mazda has gone to get into another car. says Jamie in the comments. No, he's stuck in the Williams because they're all identical setups here. But Biggs now putting pressure on Mazda. Mazda opting to stay out. Was that the right call? That's the question. Biggs now onto the back of the Williams. He'll want to clear Mazda as quickly as he can because you can see Matt disappearing in the foreground. If these two opt in to go to the end, Matt is obviously on the longer strategy and will have to look after his tyres. So clearing Mazda was important. Sutty also sticking to the back of the Mutts Nuts in the background. But now we're coming to the final corner. The main overtaking opportunity is turn 1 and turn 2. Can Biggs get his way past Mazda? He's in the slipstream. DRS will be enabled for the second straight. D Biggs, can he do anything about Mazda? What is else going on? Sutty is close to the Mutts Nuts, but not close enough. Oh, Mazda's gone deep by the thing. Biggs needs to have a good exit. DRS enabled for Biggs, but he's not quite close enough to then go down the inside of Mazda, or is he? He gets really close to the back of that Williams, but is not able to do anything about it. He needs to clear Mazda as quickly as he can because Matt is disappearing. Biggs' chance to take a race win is slipping ever so slowly as Matt starts to extend the gap, but Matt needs to keep it squeaky clean himself. Emo Guy is joining the fight as well. The Mutts Nuts under pressure from Sutty. Emo Guy has to be clever, has to be smart here. They want to work together, the two Alpine boys, and try and find a way past that Williams of Mazda, who is hanging on to the skin of his teeth from these Alpines. We know Emo Guy seems to have a stronger straight line speed. Can he use that to get past both his teammate and Mazda? That's the question. Mazda doing everything he possibly can on board with Emo Guy as we come through the final few corners. Biggs sticking to the back of Mazda. He want a good exit out the final corner to make it work. Matt really not disappearing right now. He's managed to stick to 1.4 between these guys. As Emo Guy go down into the final corner. Biggs looks like he had a decent run out the corner. He will have the DRS. Mazda goes defensive straight away. Goes right up to the wall. There's nothing Mazda can do unless he's later on the brakes. Biggs covers the inside off. And Mazda losing out to Biggs there. Biggs finally clearing Mazda. But can Mazda get the run on the final corner? He has a wiggle there. He doesn't get good traction. He gets the DRS, but I don't think it's enough to go down the inside. No, it's not. Biggs has... Whoa! Mazda misjudges braking. Emo Guy looks like he can take advantage of that. He's going to go around the outside. He should have the inside for the corner. He's trying his best there. Sutty looks like he's dropping down the pack. He has done so. So Sutty losing out. Mazda has lost out to both Alpines. What does Mazda do now? He has to go as long as he can on those medium tyres. Swap to the softs is my only thing that can happen here. As the Mutts Nuts, his Williams teammate, is catching him as well. Gary, 30 laps on the medium tyres. He's doing a fantastic job on those tyres. But I feel like that strategy is not working for him. Mazda, DRS on Emo Guy. Can he find a way past? No, he does not. He'll have to wait until the back straight. But I think Mazda, with those older tyres, is losing out to these guys and will not be able to fight them in this state. So what does Mazda do? His strategy seems to be a little bit all over the place. While everyone else, it seems to be fairly similar. So it's Matt who leads the way with a 2.4 gap to D Biggs. Third place is Emo Guy. He's 1.3 off the back of Biggs. Matt Ahimovic, look at that lap time at 31.5. He is turning up the heat here at Bahrain. And Mazda onto the back of Emo Guy, gets the DRS but is unable to get any closer with Emo Guy with that much stronger straight line advantage there. And Mazda just sits and wait. He's 4 tenths behind. Maybe Emo Guy had a wiggle. Is Mazda looking to the inside? No, he has to hang on a little bit longer now. But it's this man who still leads the way. Lap 40 here, 17 laps to go of this race, and Matt Ahimovic does not look phased whatsoever either. D Biggs currently in second place position, trying to bring that gap down. He will have younger tyres towards the end, 5 laps younger make that. So hopefully those tyres will help him, and Matt might go off the cliff near the end. We will see. But Emo Guy not too far behind. Mazda and Mutts Nuts in the two Williams really starting to struggle now. Mazda just hanging into the DRS zone, only just though. His plan at the minute, Jamie doesn't seem to be falling through. Gary still on those 31 lap old tyres. He's still going. But he's got Sutty starting to hunt him down and breathe down his neck. Sutty running wide there. Can he do anything about Gary down the back straight? Haas versus Aston Martin. Gary 131 versus Sutty Apex. These two always have a good laugh, a good giggle, especially when they were last at Watkins Glen. But Gary opts to pit, as does the Mutts Nuts. Gary's finally going to get rid of those tyres. That done 32 laps. 32 laps on a set of mediums. That's good going for Gary. So the Mutts Nuts will leave the pits with Gary just behind him as well. Both of these guys, Gary's opting for the softs while the Mutts Nuts has gone to the medium. So the Mutts Nuts doesn't think he can get to the end on a set of softs, or maybe he doesn't have a set of softs ready for him. But Gary with fresh softs, he should be an absolute animal on those tyres. What can he do with the final stages of this race? Sutty Apex currently in 5th and is not really close enough to the leaders right now. As Biggs now starts to match Matt at the front. Matt maybe not having the best of laps, but he's just matching him lap for lap at the minute. Biggs just keeping in sight of him. Vimo guy is cover in 3rd place position. Mazda with those older tyres, 21 laps old. Can he get to the end, or will he have to abort and go onto a set of soft tyres? That's the question. He's got a 5-second gap to Sutty, and then a further 7 seconds to Kelly. If he'd pit now, he'd come ahead of, I would think, DJ Phil, who's on the hard tyres. So he'd have to clear KLF and Sutty as quickly as he can. But at this precise minute, Mazda is opting to stay out. Biggs got a little bit close to that lap. 1.8 separating him and Matimovic. Can Biggs catch and overtake? As the Mutts Nuts is overtaking DJ Phil as they go into the final corner here. DJ Phil looks to be a lot better this race. A little bit wobbly at Australia, but he looks a lot more stable here at Bahrain. As DJ Phil under pressure from Gary, and Gary makes that look a much easier than it is. And Gary up into 8th place position on those set of softs. Can he find a way past the Mutts Nuts, as he will get the benefit of the DRS up into turn 4. Gary up into turn 4. Is he able to go down the inside of the Mutts Nuts? No, he's not quite close enough. He'll have to wait a little bit longer, or hope that he has better traction through the middle sector. We go on board with Gary, really pushing the car here on the softs. He will have superior grip and pace. Look how close he gets onto the back of that Williams. The Mutts Nuts drops the rear, just hangs in there. We're just on board for that. The Mutts Nuts defending the inside, but Gary going right round the outside, and he will hold on to that position. The Mutts Nuts having to yield to that, and Gary now makes that position up, but the Mutts Nuts gets the DRS. Can he do anything about Gary as he go up into the quick sweeping left-hander? No, he can't. Gary with the better, superior grip and pace stays ahead of the Mutts Nuts. So good job there from Gary. I won't be surprised if this will be a fastest lap for him. Mazda is into the pits. So where is this going to bring him out? Gary's going to be close to Mazda. So keep an eye on this. Mazda in the pits. What is he going to? He is going to the soft tyres. So this is going to be an interesting fight. KLF 900 goes past Mazda. Where is Gary? Gary's down the back straight. This is going to be tight. Gary a 1:30.6. He takes fastest lap. Mazda coming out the pits. This is going to be tight between the Aston Martin and the Williams. But Mazda looks like he's done enough to stay ahead of Gary. But Gary will have the traction, will have the warmer tyres as he come up down the back straight. Gary right on the back of Mazda. Can he get down the inside? He won't have DRS. The Mutts Nuts in the other Williams is not close enough to help Mazda. He does have DRS, does Gary. He gets a run on Mazda. He goes around the inside. Can he get the job done? No, and Mazda just hangs on by the skin of his teeth there, but he will be under pressure for the rest of this lap. So this is the cards they've been dealt with. Mazda and Gary fighting out for 6th and 7th. Can they catch onto the back of KLF, which they are 5 seconds behind? If they're too busy squabbling one another, they probably won't. Gary right onto the back of Mazda. Mazda's made a mistake in the hairpin. Gary with DRS, can he find a way through down the inside? Mazda defends it, but Gary's going for it, and he's down the inside. Oh, they make contact. They're still side by side as they go through the sweeping left-hander. Gary's going to try and hang it out around the outside. He tries to do so, and he does. He gets the job done, but Mazda back down the inside. Great racing from these two. Mazda rubbing wheels with him. They're still side by side. The Nuts must be absolutely loving this right now because he gets a little bit closer. Gary wants the DRS, so he backs off. Gary looks to try and get better traction. They should be similar now with 1 lap old tyres between them. Gary will get DRS as he does so. Goes down turn 1. Mazda goes to defend. While this is all happening, Gary is catching, well, the whole pack is catching Kelly, who's 3.9 up ahead of him. So if they're at this rate, they will catch him. Gary goes in front of Mazda. Mazda will benefit from the DRS, but he's not close enough. Instead, the Nuts is closer to a Mazda. But no, they have to wait a little bit longer. Mazda now will have to sit behind the back of Gary as Mazda goes really wide there. And the Nuts near enough joins him. Lap 44, 57 laps. So we've only got a few more laps left of this race. These guys have opted to go for the soft tyres. And Mazda sticking to the back of Gary right now. Matahimovic still leads this race with D-Big still within reach of him. Hopefully those tyres will come to D-Big's. Emo Guy in third. They're doing a solid job for first, second and third. Sutty currently in 4th place. Can he hang on to the end for that 4th place position? KLF 900 in 5th, but he's being hunted down by this squabble. Oh my god, this is going to go right to the very end. Gary, Mazda, the Nuts, these all seem to have better pace than Kelly right now, and they are catching him lap for lap. There is Kelly. He's not had the best sector here, and he's going to be under pressure from Mazda. Mazda right onto the back of Gary, but he won't want to overtake him. He'll want the benefit of the DRS. So here we go. Mazda, does he get a good exit? They get a similar exit. Gary will stay to the left. Is he going to go right? No, he doesn't. Gary gets fastest lap, a 30.6. Mazda gets in front of Gary. Gary looks to come back at Mazda, while KLF is under pressure from all of them. Gary just avoiding Mazda there. He's down the inside. He thinks better of it. He bounces over the curb. And Mazda, has he got DRS? He has from KLF 900. So Mazda's played that brilliantly there to stay ahead of Gary. So now Kelly has got the the struggle of having to defend from Mazda, Gary and the Nuts. All these guys seem to be on better tyres, better speed right now. Can Kelly hold on? That's the question. I don't think it's going to happen though. All these guys on better tyres, better strategy right now than Kelly. Can Kelly just hang on for some points here? He's trying his absolute best. He's not going to make it easy for these guys. He goes straight to the inside. Mazda's going to go right round the outside. Better tyres, better grip. Kelly, is he going to hang it down the inside? He does so and pushes Mazda wide. That's going to invite Gary. Gary's now on the inside. Look at this. Reabreast, and Mazda's gone round. Mazda has gone round. He will not be happy with Kelly right now. Kelly has lost out to Gary. That benefits Gary there. Mazda will be absolutely fuming about that. That's just got all sorts of messy there through that sector. Kelly trying his absolute best to hang in there, but he makes contact and he gone wide as well. So Gary looks like he's going to hang in there for this position. So Kelly losing out. The Nuts now trying to gain onto the back of KLF 900. Can he do anything about him at this precise stage? He's not close enough to do anything right now. Wow, Mazda will be fuming. He'll be want to try and set fastest laps now. That's burnt a set of life out of his tyres as well. But Gary is staying ahead of KLF. So now can he hunt down, or can he bring that gut down to Sutty, Emo Guy and Biggs if they have to make a late minute pit stop? That's the question here. The Nuts getting right onto the back of KLF 900 now. Is the Nuts in the opposite Williams? Is he able to do a better job than Mazda? And I think that all got a little bit messy up in the quick quick right-hander. Kelly right defending as much as he possibly can from the Nuts, but there's nothing he can do. Oh, as he makes contact with the Nuts, that's going to give him some front wing damage possibly. But the Nuts really trying his best to hang in there. Kelly with front wing damage, obviously suffering from understeer there. And the Nuts will carry on into that 6th place position. Mazda want to try and hunt down Kelly as quickly as he possibly can. As you can see there, Kelly does look like he's got a bit of front wing damage. and it's giving him some horrendous understeer. Obviously those tyres being so old as well, he's going to be losing time. He gets the DRS as Mazda sets the fastest lap at 1:30.0. Fastest lap is now on the tables. Who's going to take that extra point? You have to be in the top 10, which everyone is, to gain that extra fastest lap, but Mazda holds it right now. Woo, bit of drama there. But Matt still leads this race at this precise minute with a 2-second gap and maintaining that gap to a Biggs. 10 laps to go yet. Matt has to do another 10 laps on these mediums. They've done 17 already. He's going to have to strung it out for as long as he possibly can. Biggs with a brilliant strategy, and Emo Guy, both of these guys opting to pit at the same time, have really managed to stick with Matt. Matt is really going to have to be on tyre saving mode as Biggs is in the foreground there and is looking to try and catch Matt and take a first win this season, stopping Matt from taking multiple wins here at F1 Simplay Motorsport. Matt with a wiggle on exit there. Biggs with a much better traction. He'll want to try and hunt that gap down as quickly as he possibly can. KLF is now being caught by Mazda. Mazda will not want to be caught up behind Kelly again. He'll want to try and clear him through the first main straight as he looks like he's always going to get it done. Kelly's squeezing in by the looks of things, but Kelly will get the benefit of the DRS. If he gets a good exit, he should be able to get past Mazda as he cuts the corner. Kelly with multiple warnings there. He cuts the final corner. DRS for Kelly. Is he able to do anything to a Mazda here? As Mazda is going to look to try and defend. No, he's going to let Kelly go down the inside. Kelly goes down the inside and gets that position back. But Mazda looks to try and go around the outside. Kelly squeezing him there. Who's going to get DRS? It is Kelly who gets the DRS. He's trying his best. He rubs wheels with Mazda. There's nothing that Kelly can do, and he loses out to Mazda. I don't think he's got the superior grip to keep going there. So Mazda moves back up into 7th place. He finally clears Kelly after all of that there, and is unable to stick with him. PN Motorsport a couple of 8 seconds behind Kelly with soft, younger tyres there, so he should be able to catch him possibly towards the end. But PN needs to do some good lap times here. Gary's bringing that gap down to Sutty, 10.9. It was 14 seconds before, but I think he'll run out of time. Sutty probably got this covered in 4th place. Emo Guy in 3rd, not really able to stick with his teammate Biggs. But Biggs looking to try and catch Matt. Matt has got a massive job here. 19 old lap tyres. Can he go to the end? That is the question. And can Biggs start to pressurise him and try and gain some of that time back? Guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel here at Simplay Motorsport. Hit the bell to be notified for when we are live. It's been a great race here. Make sure you get your votes in for driver of the day. We're coming to the very end of this race. We will get an interview with the top 3, and as it stands, Matt Timovic leads this race with D-Biggs in 2nd for Alpine. 3rd place is his teammate of Emo Guy with Sutty Apex in 4th for the Haas. 5th place currently Gary 131 with a couple of time penalties. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. The Mutts Nuts has dropped it. He was in 6th place position, but he's given that place now to a Mazda. 7th place is the Mutts Nuts, and in 8th place is KLF 900. 9th going away of PN Motorsport. 10th place is DJ Phil, and 11th with no driver is Lucas Roth. We have lost Leon Fernie, Fury, Bryn, Guten Duffin, and also Nikki as well. So like I said, guys, make sure you tune in for various races that are coming up this week. We obviously return to the GT3 Championship Pro-Am on a Wednesday night with myself and Kelly on comms. We head to Watkins Glen in a evening or morning race. I can't remember off the top of my head. We will be heading to Watkins Glen, our first American circuit of the season. What will that bring us as we head to America? Then make sure you tune in on a Thursday night where hopefully Nikki won't have any more internet problems, as Virgin went down just before he was meant to commentate with Matt for the pro category. Can I do anything about Andy this season? Will I be able to do anything in the McLaren and take it to the BMW boys? That is the question. And then make sure you tune in on Saturday, as we will be having our first World Endurance race, which will be at Silverstone. 6 hours of Silverstone. LMP2s and GTEs will hit the track for the first time this season. Going to be a good World Endurance Championship for sure. As we are coming to the closing stages of this race, no real fights as of yet right now. Everyone currently on the last leg of their session. So currently the stops look like this. Matt has done a 2-stop, Biggs 2-stop as well, Emo Guy for the 3-stop, Sutty with a 2-stop, and Gary 2-stop as well. 3-stop off Mazda, 4-stop for the Mutts Nuts, 5s for PN and KLF 900, nearly the most amount of stops. DJ Phil with 4 and Lucas Roth with 6 stops as well. Current tyres they are on. Penalties still to serve is KLF 900 and Gary 131, both having to serve 3-second penalties, and that will be added to the end of the race. And a change of position. Matt, the only one, managed to maintain his position. Biggs making 4, Emo Guy making 6, Sutty making 3, and Gary making 3. Mazda losing 2, the Mutts Nut gaining 3, KLF making 7. PN Motorsport gaining 2, 4 went to DJ Phil, and Lucas Roth losing 6, Leon Fernie losing 10, Fury losing 10, Bryn losing 2, gaining 2, but they really won't classify because they will not score points at this stage. I'm just fiddling around with the buttons while I get an opportunity, because it's a little bit quiet here. So currently a couple more comments coming in. Disco McDisface, a good confidence boost for Biggs regardless of final position. Yeah, definitely so. Hopefully my teammate will feel a little bit stronger as he comes to a Watkins Glen. First time he gets to run the McLaren. How will he do so in the Pro? Can this man take another win in the Pro-Am? He's currently on his way to take possibly another win here at Bahrain, but he's got 6 laps to go and 21 lap old tyres. Can he keep it on track? Biggs will be pushing him to the very end. I don't like the track map. Let's have that. That looks a bit better. Biggs is starting to bring that gap down though to Mate Himovic. Does Matt get the DRS? No, he doesn't. Lucas Roth does, but Biggs not quite able to do so. He will get a lovely slipstream off the back of that Haas, and he might get the DRS as he goes down the back straight, down the second straight. Can he able to do so here? Biggs on the back of that Haas. Does he get the DRS? Not quite. So yes, he does. He does get the DRS. So he's gained a little bit there on Matt with the DRS, and Emo Guy not too far behind in that 3rd place position. Jamie Brazy says in the comments, come on PN Motorsport, get some more points. PN Motorsport only 3 seconds off the back of KLF 900, which he needs to be under 3 seconds to gain on Kelly, because Kelly will get a 3-second penalty towards the end, so he will lose that 8th place position. Can PN bring that gap down? That is the question. Closest fight on track is the leaders of Biggs and Mate Himovic. The gap has extended once again. Matt has got to be squeaky clean till the very, very end. And can Mazda get within 3 seconds of Gary? He would then gain another position. He will be losing points to Matt right now, who currently has the fastest lap. I believe it is Mazda, as we see there, a 30.0, and I think the best of the lap times have come in now, unless someone down the lower end like a KLF or a PN Motorsport want to come in and put the softs on and go faster. That is their choice, but I don't really think they'll get near to Mazda's lap time. But as we come to the closing stages here of this race, Mazda still struggling to catch onto the back of Gary, but he's doing so ever so slowly. Like I said, he needs to be under 3 seconds of Gary 131 to gain another position and gain more points, making sure the points deficit doesn't get too high between him and Matt. As also PN Motorsport has now dropped within that 3-second window, so at the minute he's looking to get an 8th place position right now from KLF 900, who's in 8th place position and is about to come under pressure from the Ferrari, the number 66 of PN Motorsport, I've been a long time of talking of F1, guys. It's coming to the end. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. These guys are putting on an awesome show for you here tonight at the Bahrain Sakhir Grand Prix. Make sure you tune in 2 weeks time, where we will be back with the F1s, as we will be heading to Italy and Imola. And look at the gap between Biggs and Matt. Matt must have had a mistake somewhere, because now the gap is 1.6. Biggs is now bringing that gap down to Matt. Matt seems to be struggling now. 23 laps old tyres. Biggs will start to hit the cliff as well, but it's really heated on here. Matt's made a mistake somewhere. Biggs is getting closer. Can D Biggs get a race win? This will head towards his stats as well. So Biggs will want a race win. He'll want to gain as many points on Matt as he possibly can. Right now Matt is just doing enough, but I think Matt must be struggling on those tyres. 24 old lap tyres. He will be under pressure now from Biggs. Biggs really trying to hunt him down. Guys, make sure you get your vote in for driver of the day, and we'll see who will take the crown here tonight at Bahrain. And right now, Matt, whatever he's done, he has lost time to Biggs. Biggs is now starting to put the pressure on Matt. Biggs has just got to keep doing what he's doing. He's doing everything right. He's putting him under pressure. Will someone beat Matt this season? Matt taking the first win in Australia. At least we got more than drivers finishing than not finishing this round. That's the achievement in itself. But Matt now starting to become under pressure from the Alpine driver of D Biggs. Looks like KLF 900 now under pressure from PN Motorsport, but PN Motorsport just has to sit behind him and he will gain that position, but obviously he'll want to race for it. 1.3 is the gap. The leaders gap is coming down still as well. I think I've already got my driver of the day for this evening. There's so many drivers we could have given it to, but right now PN Motorsport trying everything he can. We've got a car off in sector 2. Who is off? It's not these guys who is off. I don't know who's had a little incident. Might have been the Mutts Nuts. But Kelly is now under pressure from PN Motorsport. The gap is maintaining between Biggs and Matt. Biggs is running out of time. He really needs to put Matt under pressure now. Matt is going to be struggling with traction. And they got traffic of DJ Phil just ahead of him as well. So Matt is really pushing it here to stay ahead of Biggs. Biggs trying everything he can to stick with him, but Matt's doing everything right so far. Oh, it's going to go right down to the wire. Not quite like we did with Mazda versus Matt. Mazda clipping the wall, losing out. As Mazda is now actually under pressure. Oh no, he had the DRS from Lucas Roth by the looks of things, so nothing really going on there. Kelly under pressure from PN Motorsport. PN is caught to the back of that McLaren. Can the Ferrari get past him, or will he just hang in there and take that position by penalties? That's the question. PN Motorsport with the DRS right onto the back of the McLaren. Can he do anything about it? That's the question. Will he be able to get him down the back straight as Kelly goes through into the middle sector now? And PN Motorsport is closing that gap to the McLaren. PN Motorsport looking to try and gain any advantage on the McLaren. He wants all the points he can possibly get. Jamie wants him to get all the points he can get as he comes down to the slow sector here. Getting ever so closer to Kelly. Can he find a way past the McLaren? My laptop's disappeared again, so I'm trying my best to get it going. Apologies if I miss anything. Matt looks like he's extended his gap to D Biggs as well. So Biggs really not putting the pressure on Matt that we needed to see as PN Motorsport gets onto the back of KLF 900. Can he get him down the back straight? He looks to the outside. That's going to give Kelly the DRS though. He's going to try and hang it in there. PN Motorsport goes wide. KLF 900 sticking to the inside. PN Motorsport, he won't have the DRS because KLF 900 has it. So we go down the back straight. Biggs has lost a big amount of time. He's down to 1.2. Biggs has lost second. Emo guy has gone up into second place, but PN Motorsport is now looking to try and make a move on KLF 900. Biggs though has dropped down to third place. He had second place in the bag and was chasing down Matt at the end. So looks like PM Motorsport unable to get past Kelly, but more importantly, Biggs has lost out to Emo Guy here, and we know how good Emo Guy's car is in a straight line. So can Biggs get himself back ahead of his teammate? Matt looks like he's got this race under the bag. He's got one more lap to survive. He's done 27 laps on these medium tyres, and he's done a brilliant job here. He starts his final lap, but Emo Guy under pressure from his teammate D-Biggs back down the inside. Alpine versus Alpine. It's going to be good points for these two. But D-Biggs hangs in there, gets that second place back. But will Emo Guy try and get the position back again? That's the question. Emo Guy all over the back of his Alpine teammate. D-Biggs goes into the middle of the circuit. Emo Guy has to go around the outside. And will he get the job done? Yes, he does. And Biggs will have to conceive that. Oh, Biggs with a snap there. And I think Emo Guy is going to hold on to that second place position. He just got to keep it on track. So Biggs making that mistake. We go back to PN Motorsport and KLF 900. These still having a ding dong. PN will have the DRS as they go down the main straight. Kelly losing out to 9th place position, but even if he gets back in front of PN, he has to make a 3-second gap to take that position, and at this rate PN will hang on to that 8th place position. Good points for him. Kelly will still score points as well for McLaren, as Fury still yet to score points himself. He has the pace, he has the potential, but PN will move up into that 8th place position. But this man, Aston Martin, once again coming home to take another race win. Matt coming home to win once again here on F1. Can anyone challenge him here in the F1 Championship? Matt Imovic comes around the final corner here to take another race win here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Massive congratulations to him. Alpine will come home 2nd and 3rd. Emo Guy and D-Biggs in 2nd and 3rd. Sutty for Haas will come home in that 4th place position. Good points for Haas. Gary 131 with that 3-second penalty should is he going to get caught out by Mazda? Yes, he does. So Mazda will take 5th. Gary will take 6th place position. The Mutts Nuts looks like he is coming home for that 7th place position already. Disco McDisco says Matt for driver of the day. The Mutts Nuts coming home in that 7th place position. Good points for him. Again, Williams extending their points a little bit here. PN Motorsport will gain good points here in that 8th place position. Good stuff for him at the end. He just catches KLF. DJ Phil in 10th and KLF 900 in that 9th place position. But it is Matt Imovic who takes the race win. Blue flag means move out the way, says D Biggs in the comments. That's towards DJ Phil. And Emo Guy gets driver of the day. And I tell you what, he gets my driver of the day as well, as I get some drivers into the commentary box right now. Give us a moment here while I try and do so. We'll get Biggs and we will get Matt Imovic in as well. And Emo Guy, we'll get him in also. But nonetheless, it's been a great race here at Bahrain. Oh, there we go. There we see Matt Imovic takes the race win here. As comments coming in, was scared Biggs at the end, says Simplay Motorsport, which is Matt Imovic. Disco McDisco says, oh no, Biggs. PM Motorsport, yes, good race, KLF. If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give my driver of the day to Emo Guy. Biggs, it was going to be Biggs at first, but I take Emo Guy as driver of the day. He's done a great job with his strategy, managed to stick with Matt and Biggs, and overall managed to get the upper hand on Biggs. Looks by the blue flags. We'll just wait for Matt as well to get into the commentary box. But there's your confirmation. Matt Imovic takes the race win. Emo Guy in 2nd. 3rd goes the way of Biggs. 4th is Sati Apex. 5th is Mazda. 6th is Gary 131. 7th is the Mutts Nuts. 8th goes PM Motorsport. 9th KLF 900. 10th DJ Phil. Lucas Roth 11th. 12th is Leon Fernie. 13th is Fury Bryn in 14th. Guten Duffin also in 15th place position, and bringing up the rear is Nicky in 16th. But we do have the top 3 in the commentary box right now. First things first, we will start with D-Biggs. D-Biggs, mate, not really the end of the race you wanted, but still, nonetheless, a podium is a great start to your F1 season after the chaos that happened after Australia. But you've got to be gutted to lose 2nd just at the end there.
Yeah, I'll take that. I thought I was comfortable with 2nd. Matt was just holding it out, managing the gap. I closed on him a little bit by half a second, then lost it again. But I just came up against DJ Phil at the end at the hairpin blue flag, and he's just in the middle of the track, so that's what lost it for me. But I'll take third. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, good points. That's that's a podium for yourself, and also with your teammate Emo Guy as well. Both Alpines scoring decent points. That's going to help both of you in the teams championships. Are you looking forward to the next round at Imola? Hopefully you should be able to make it, 2 weeks time? Imola, is that more of your circuit, or are you worried about Imola?
I like Imola. It's a good track. I like that.
Ideal.
Nice and fast, flowing. You can overtake there, so...
and a question that I need to ask, are you able to make Watkins Glen?
I am.
Ideal, because I might need the
there.
backup. Are you looking? That's the question I want to ask, is are you looking forward to running the McLaren? That's another thing.
Yes, so I had a little go in it today, actually. It seems pretty good at Watkins Glen. It's, it's flat out most of the way around in the McLaren, I found.
Yeah, ideal. So, just a shame you couldn't quite get Matt at the end, just losing it to him at the end, but nonetheless, good points for yourself, and congratulations on the podium. Yeah, well done, mate. Looked good from our point of view. Second place, obviously, goes to his teammate, Emo Guy, and Ian. Wow. First race here in F1, and you're onto the podium. Looks like you at one point might be able to have the race win. Again, you and Big seem to be on a similar strategy and trying to cut Matt down by the end, but only managed to get your teammate in the end. So, how was that? Second place? Yeah, definitely so, and you two seem to be pitting at the same time, you and yourself and Biggs, and it seemed to, at work at times, you seem to just have that gap, but in the end, it wasn't enough to quite catch Matt, but it must give you some good feeling going into Imola, though.
Dan.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. That was Emo's 50th race.
Oh, well there you go. Emo's 50th race here at Bahrain. So congratulations on your 50th appearance, mate. So congratulations on that. And a second place for you as well. I just wanted to make one comment as well. I noticed that you seem to have a lot of straight line speed. Did you choose to go for less downforce for that race? Yeah, it seems to benefit you definitely, mate, especially on the straights and with the DRS zones. So again, a massive congratulations on second place. You got my driver of the day today, but nonetheless, good points for yourself and Biggs, and hope to see you in 2 weeks' time at Imola. Congratulations. And Matt, once again, another race win to add to the tally. Aston Martin take another win as well. Not quite fastest lap this time. That went back to the weight of Mazda. But nonetheless, mate, another race win in the bag here at Bahrain. And I think, to be fair, mate, that was a lot better than when me did it in the Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, don't know, a lot better than what we did in the Williams. No, fantastic race. I have to have a massive shout out to Biggs and Emo Guy, because my tyres were 5 laps older at the end, and I thought, you know what, there's a chance they could get me here. And Biggs was trying. I could see Biggs using the battery, bless him. And then I don't know what happened. I got past Phil, and then Biggs got to Phil in the S's. And then before you know it, he dropped back to 4 seconds. And yeah, no, I was on edge because my rear tyres was really starting to struggle towards the end of that race. And yeah, I could see Biggs coming. Wasn't easy.
No, definitely not. And like you said, you're obviously stressing with the I think it was 27 lap old tyres towards the end there, and Biggs was hunting you down. If it wasn't for the incident for the blue flags, I reckon he probably would have caught you towards the end. But how much of a stress was it losing Gary earlier on? Because he looked very strong for an Aston Martin 1-2, and it just slipped out of his grasp by the looks of things. He had a great fight with Mazda, but nonetheless, you outscore all your rivals, and you go towards Imola ahead of the drivers. So not all overall bad for the team and yourself, is it?
No, not bad for the team. Like I say, it's a shame that Gary couldn't get the 1-2. We nearly had that. We could have done that, especially with Alpine scoring strong again and with Williams scoring strong again. All right, we took the constructors' lead by 10 points, I think, by what I'm looking at. But Gary getting that 1-2 just secures our position at the top. He got a drive-through speeding under the safety car. What I couldn't quite believe was Mazda at the start getting a drive-through at the very start. Which kind of shocked me, and it was strange to see Mazda get that kind of penalty, but nonetheless, like you say, Biggs, I think me and Biggs would have been fighting them last 2, maybe 3 laps towards the end there because my tyres were shot. But what a race tonight! A lot better tonight. I thought. I just want to shout out everybody. A lot cleaner tonight it seemed than what Melbourne was, and we managed to get 11 finishes out of 16. Shame for Floyd. Just want to say shame for Floyd. Obviously, he couldn't live up to his heroics of last week, but 2 out of 2. We move to Imola in 2 weeks' time. I get a bit of a break now. I get an extra sort of week's break to rest the backs. That one's hurt my back a bit more this time. So recover for Wednesday. Go again Wednesday.
Well, congratulations, mate. You got driver of the day from Disco, so there's a little extra thing for you as well.
Cheers, Disco.
And as they've actually updated this tables for me, and I don't have to do it myself, it is Matt who still leads the way of the title with 50 points ahead of Mazda, who's on 30 points. The Muttnuts currently in third place with 18 points. Emo Guy scoring 18 points as well. Good race for him. KLF 900 with 5th place with 17. Biggs is now onto the table with 15 points in 6th. 7th is DJ Phil with 11 points. 8th goes the way of Floyd in 8th place with 8 points. Gary 131 in 9th with 8 points as well. Lucas Roth scoring 6 points and 10th in the title. PM Motorsport also on 6 points in 11th. Fury gaining 4 points in 12th. Green Pies with 1 point in 13th, and that Buzzy Boy, RDJ, Leon Fernie, John Boy, Grandad Steve, Monkey Boy, and Bryn Sutty all currently on 0. Sutty's just been updated. He's got 12 points, so that should just put him up into 7th place position. For the team's title, it's currently Aston Martin leading away with 58 points, but Williams are just behind with 10 points behind them. Alpine also get on the table with 33 points. Congratulations to them. McLaren with 21 points. Haas with a 19. Red Bull with 11. Mercedes with a 6th. For Ferrari, Alfa Tauri and Alfa Romeo still yet to get on the board or yet still appear on the track, but nonetheless, congratulations to the podium guys, to Matt Imovic, D Biggs, and also Emo Guy. Thanks to everybody who stayed and watched the race as well. Make sure you tune in for this week. We have got some more racing action coming your way. Wednesday night, Pro-Am, myself and Kelly will be back in the commentary box to commentate at Watkins Glen, and then on the Thursday night will be the pros of Matt Zahimovic, and hopefully Nikki will be in your commentary box to commentate on the pros. And then Saturday night is the big day. Sorry, Saturday, as I'm losing my voice right now. Saturday, make sure you tune in for our first World Endurance Championship event. We will head to Silverstone for the 6-hour race there, so make sure you tune in for that. LMP2s and GTEs hit the track for the first time this season. But Bahrain round 2 has come to an end. We then head 2 weeks time to Imola for round 3. Can Matt retain his winning ways here, or will rain hamper him possibly at Imola? That is the question. Can Mazda gain points on him after having a little bit of knowledge of doing the fun event? We will see in 2 weeks time. But from myself, from everyone here at Simplay Motorsport, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified for when we are live. But from myself and everyone here, it's good night.
Cheers, PN Motorsport in the chat. Sorry, I was just waiting for Dan to finish there, but cheers for your kind words, bud. We are out, lads. Cheers for your kind words. PN, well done to you.